you look even better in person.
Yahoo!
Ropes, vines, vines. Let him finish. Oh, what's the?
It's because someone's saying I heard through the, or what is the line?
I do forget the context of that line because I have watched this episode twice in the last week and who knows how many times overall. I gotta tell you, there's so much in it that my brain has trouble like parsing out each individual moment. Ropes, vines, let him finish.
I feel like she's trying, like someone asked a question and they're like trying to find the word for it, and then she's stoned. She tries to finish this. She goes, ropes, vines, let him finish.
Which is, I don't think this is the first case of Community doing let him finish, but it becomes like a real runner. Oh, I think the first one is Asian population studies, where Jeff is giving the speech for Chang, and he just starts listing serial killers, and then Chang says,
I think the first one's the Penn episode.
Oh, maybe it is. But yeah, so there's that
Jeff's
thing.
like, maybe a ghost took it, and they're like, let him finish, and he's like, no, that's it. Maybe a ghost took it.
Maybe a ghost took it. You're probably right. But the bit is that she's so high, and normally you say, let him finish to someone who is interrupting. But you are interrupting, and you are saying it in addition to yourself, which is very funny. This is not a Britta dense episode, but there's a lot of strong material here. Iconic Britta moments sprinkled throughout.
I've got the line for you folks if you want to hear it. It's right after Abed catches the die. It says we shouldn't do it, and Abed says our job isn't to fight it, but to weather it together on the raft of life. A raft held together by those few rare, beautiful things that we know to be predictable. She goes, ropes, vines.
Fine, let him finish.
And she goes, let him finish, and he goes, us.
Oh, it's a locomotive that runs on us. Okay.
We are the coal.
We are the coal that powers the machine. But speaking of being the coal that powers the universal machine, I don't know if we're entering some dicey territory here, but the two of you have now finished the television show The Good Place.
Oh, man.
Yes.
And however many months later, I do have a question for you both. Thoughts?
Before we get into thoughts, I thought, I don't know if you did this on purpose, but dicey for this episode.
Pretty good. Pretty good, right?
Pretty good. Well done. You write that one down? You practice?
Pretty freaking good. Yeah, that's my secret, Cap. I have a list of segues I'm going to use throughout the episode. I don't.
I mean, I'm pretty sure I want someone who's been listening to find a single episode where we don't, at least one of us doesn't say, speaking of blank, and then use it with either a non sequitur or a really effective pun.
Yeah, so the problem is most of the time we use it in a completely, speaking of robot dogs, and you're like, what the fuck?
The hell? You're going to start talking about Jimmy Neutron's pet Goddard? All right. Okay.
Wow, that was great. I forgot Goddard was a thing.
Jimmy Neutron! Poisson! Poisson!
Jimmy's mom!
Hey, Jimmy! Yay. Carl was the best.
Jimmy's mom!
That's a classic Rob Paulson.
Jimmy's mom!
Ultranard. Yeah, he was cool. Sheen, we love Sheen. We hate Jimmy Neutron, the poop-headed boy.
Professor Sheen. I will be learning you today.
Why'd you turn Sheen into a South Park character?
Yeah,
I don't know.
I mean, what is Sheen if not a PG South Park character?
Sure.
How different is he than any, on the fucking Chin Pokemon episode of South Park? Like, how different is he really?
I don't know what that reference is, but I'm going to assume that was a good reference, so.
Maybe. We'll see.
Well, I love how you asked us about The Good Place, and we started talking about Jimmy Neutron.
Jimmy Neutron, Boy Genius, a frankly hideous televised animated program.
Okay, wait. There's a serious before. Okay, we're in it now. We need to do it. Before,
Yeah, fuck it.
genuinely speaking, there is a Mandela effect. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
That is Jimmy Neutron, right?
Okay.
I swear on my life that the TV show came first.
Hell no.
You're
absolutely
wrong.
not.
You are
Absolutely
just
not.
wrong.
I mean,
Nope.
okay.
There's no Mandela to that shit, homie. You're just wrong.
Okay.
Nah,
but
Nelson
everybody-
Mandela
okay,
is
maybe
alive
it's
and
because y'all
well.
are- Maybe it's because y'all are 28 and I'm 20, about to be 25. But everybody else I know that's specifically my age goes, "What?" When they find out
Okay,
that.
hold on. Then that's probably because y'all weren't going to theaters yet. So you saw it when it was a show, and then when you were old enough, just watched the movie. I went and saw
Right.
Jimmy Neutron in theaters, and if I'm 5 years older than you, then I was probably 9 and you were probably 5.
This
You're 3 years older than I.
Jimmy Neutron is a
Three.
2001 American computer animated science fiction comedy
shit.
film.
Yeah.
So 2001.
What was your first movie theater, Jace?
I don't know. I'm always blown away when people actually remember that shit. I don't know what my first movie was in a movie theater.
It is possible that there were ones before this for me. The first one I can recall is seeing the Disney animated Hercules with my grandparents. That is the first theater going experience I can remember. Bless my soul, Herc was on a roll.
Was it challah or was it potato? That was
Oh,
so bad.
a roll. God.
That was so bad. That didn't land for either of you. The looks, listeners, the looks that both of these hosts just gave me.
I just didn't know what you said.
You
No,
didn't
that's
give
the
me...
worst. That's
Kev,
exactly
pick
it.
up.
It wasn't
Kev,
even
pick
like
it up.
You are
It
talking to two of the gentiliest Gentiles, and you went with challah and potato. You didn't give me a King's Hawaiian roll. You didn't give me a Kaiser roll. You gave me.
The worst part about it, though, is usually like if I make a joke like that, there's a look of like disappointment, which feeds my soul. But I didn't get
Instead, we just looked
disappointment.
through you.
You looked. It was nothing. It was blank. It was Jace. Are you dumb? And I was like, oh, maybe I am dumb.
No. I was doing my face. The way it should have read is like when Jeff says, "Abed, you're a computer. Scan your mainframe," and I was like, 1995 Hercules anime. Was there a joke about rolls in that movie that I'm just like Matrix code is like unfolding before my
But
eyes.
that's what I saw. That was the most disappointing part because instead of it
That's,
being like Jace,
wanna
blue,
buy a sundial? Someone call IXII.
But it,
Grecian Express credit card,
if you had
Danny
said
DeVito.
anything-
handles.
if you had said
James
anything but
Woods.
holla, there's a chance I got it.
Okay.
But you said holla and potato, and I was like, holla at potatoes? What does that have to do with fucking Hercules?
Okay,
They're-
I guess. What if you want me to leave? I could leave.
Oh no, absolutely not. You have to stay here. This is our curse we share. So.
I was.
And we have to talk about the good place.
The good place.
Yes. I'm sorry.
Oh my God.
Just one thing. Over here.
Fuck
I
off.
did.
He's like, let's talk about good place.
I
and
did
then derails
I
us.
put down some Vegas odds as to if I could type in "challah at your boy" into Google. That there would be.
I think I just threw up in my mouth a little.
There would be a music video. I was close. I would have lost the Vegas odds. There are many T-shirts you can buy that say "Holla,
Oh, yeah.
Holla at your boy." And then there is an episode of Beat Bobby Flay where I assume they make challah bread.
Shut up.
So, and that episode, not that people know the titles of Beat Bobby Flay episodes, but
Yeah.
that is the title of that episode.
Well, the more you know. Speaking of the more you know, the good place.
The good place, and they say it gets colder. Okay, I
do you wanna
just,
see a
Jace, I
chorus
wanted
of
you
Jewish
to
women
feel
singing "Holla
good.
Back, Girl"?
Oh my god.
Jace, I wanted you to feel good about yours, so I did a worse one.
No, but there's that makes me feel worse about mine because it wasn't even a like it wasn't like a soul crushing like how
Just
dare you.
no
It was
reaction.
just blank like does not compute. Oh my god. Also, Caleb, that video sounds simultaneously fabulous and terrifying.
It's not great, but it's funny. for a couple seconds, and then swiftly hit the eject button, else your brain melts slowly and painfully.
I'm pretty sure it's like, not having seen this video, I have a feeling that after the first 10 seconds, you go, oh, I get this. Okay.
Basically. It's
That
like
was,
if you were to watch a rendition of like a song that's absolutely not G-rated being sung at a church,
Sure.
and you're like a verse in, and you're like, cool, I don't need this. I'm glad I experienced whatever it was, but I'm done now.
It's Kids Bop taking anything.
Y'all are.
I can deal with Kids Bop to a point because it's for kids, but when it's like, when you turn WAP into a song about Jesus, we got words we gotta speak.
Wet ass pastor. Wet ass.
Oh my god. So, the good place. Let us please, because if we can just do the good place, we can
Too
get
many
to
Holy Spirits in this house. Too many Holy Spirits in this house.
Okay, I'm sorry. I must
It's
stop.
in fact, it's Holy Ghost in this house.
I could.
Yeah.
Okay, if I wanted to really pivot, I could kill as a Christian parody music artist. I could slay. Okay.
Speaking of that,
yes, the three of us are in a very special mental place right now, and I not to prolong our discussion of one of the great Community episodes, but the fact that the two of you have both finished The Good Place simply must be discussed. Spoilers ahead for anyone that hasn't viewed it yet. I'll include a time code in the description so you can skip over it. So I watched the Good Place episode, like, I don't know, the day after it came out, however many months ago that was. It truly feels like about
9
a
months
lifetime
ago. It was before quarantine.
Yeah, it was pre-quarantine. So, like, imagine what your brain was like then. And I have seen reactions really far on both sides. I've seen people that hated it, and I have seen people like myself that were just a hopeless crying wreck at the end.
What was the motivation behind hating it?
it wasn't funny enough.
I think
there think you feel things I don't like feeling.
I think there, if you were presenting now, you could argue that if you've gotten through 4 seasons of The Good Place, you could maybe expect a certain expectation of this show questioning the sense of existence. But perhaps, the main criticism I saw is like these 12 sitcom writers didn't solve the nature of existence, and I'm like, all right.
Yeah, they did.
But they also kind of did.
I would
fully
disagree with that. I think that there was not that there is a way to solve the meaning of a question that we don't know what the question is, right? Like, someone
That's
says,
some real
what's
deep
the
thought
answer?
shit.
And somebody goes, "What's the question?" And they're like, "Fuck you, man! You should know the answer already."
You spitting some Douglas Adams shit at me right now. You're coming at me with some Douglas Adams nonsense.
I do love Doug, but
I fuck with Doug.
The relationship with philosophy and jokes is very real. There's actually a great book for anybody that's interested in philosophy. I forget the writers. I'm so sorry. They're 2 professors. It's called Plato and a Platypus Walk into a Bar, and it's explaining philosophy through jokes. It's fabulous. It's a really great book if you're into that kind of stuff.
If you're into that kind of shit.
Yeah, but basically, this finale was so...
Parody. Kevin just turned into fucking Plankton.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, it was Plankton, but like Plankton approves. I think that was. I'm starting a new
How
meme.
do we keep going to these freaking Nicktoons when we're trying to talk about
I'm starting a new meme, but it's like a vintage like 2009 meme where it's like positive Plankton. Positive.
Posy
I was talking
Plankton.
about that literally today. Just like how the kids these days, right now, the kids these days, okay, kids these days got no pudding.
Anyway, go on.
Oh God, oh no!
Y'all see that mugshot?
No,
Y'all see Bill
When the
Cosby's
blood of the
mugshot?
young. This is what happens when the blood of the young is taken off of your menu. Go on.
God, but literally, we were talking about how so kids now know what like RAR XD is, right?
I don't.
I hope the kids do because I don't.
I don't.
What? What?
We're never going to talk about The Good Place. Well, let's go on.
But like, okay, yo, I'm not alone in this. I can't be the only scenester. Were y'all not scene kids? Of course you weren't.
I'm black. Of course I wasn't.
I'm lame. Of course I wasn't.
Kids.
I was so
Sorry, I'm black and
uncool.
grew up in the Midwest. Of course I wasn't.
No, like, so, like, there was this whole thing, like, 2000s, where, like, just, like, the idea, it was, like, RAR means I love you in dinosaur. Like, this whole thing, it was, like, this cutesy, like, I can't even describe it. This non-ironic use of this ultra-cute, kind of pre-kawaii vibes, right?
Mm-hmm.
And, like, that was this whole thing. And now, like, kids know what, like, RAR is, but it's purely ironic. And it's just, I was talking to my roommate about how, like, if you were to put up in front of, like, a young Zoomer, like a really young Zoomer, right? Not like a me, like, cuspy Zoomer, but like a young Zoomer, and be like, show them the original Icon has cheeseburger meme, they'd be like, what the fuck is this?
What is this weak-ass shit? You know, these kids are
Yeah,
on black tar heroin memes, and you're like, want a toke, kid? And they're like, I'm well beyond toke.
It's truly Steve Buscemi. What's like? How do you do, fellow children?
How do you do, fellow kids?
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Yeah, if I
has
pulled out a
cheeseburger.
bad luck Brian meme with its like when memes used to have only like triangular 2-color backgrounds.
Sure.
And you
When
would
they
just
have like
top
whenever
text,
meme
bottom
formats.
text.
Yeah, top text, bottom text. It's so funny too because it like the top text, bottom text meme format was like a thing for so long, and then right when it stopped being a thing, every company that tried to market to people started using top text, bottom text formatting, and it was like, no, you're literally a decade too late.
As it should be.
Past that.
As it should be.
Thank God. Can you imagine a company, or any company, specifically a company large, keeping up with meme culture?
The closest we have to that are the like company Twitter accounts where like
Wendy's. It's
Wendy's
Wendy's.
is
It's
like,
Wendy's.
I'm so sad today.
Okay,
And like
but
we
that's
haven't
not Wendy's. They hire a freaking child.
Yeah,
And then
it's
they're
not
like,
it's not the
"Go
CEO
ham."
of Wendy's. You know,
Wendy's social media manager's like 53 years old, and you're like, oh, he's a student of the world.
No, they literally.
we haven't like invented terms for the disorders that will come from being like publicly owned by Wendy's in the town square. Just like when you get so owned so hard by moon
You have
pies
corporal
that you
confidence
delete your
dysphoria?
Twitter account. We will have to expand the journals, the medical journals for these. But
We're gonna sooner or later we're gonna get the DSM-6.
yeah.
It's C2D,
DSM,
corporate confidence deflation disorder.
Hey, that's pretty good.
Corporate what?
Corporate confidence deflation disorder.
C2D2.
Is that a real thing?
No, I just made it up, but it's gonna
Damn,
be
it
a real
sounds
thing.
good.
It is now.
But in short, I loved the end of The Good Place. I thought that
Yeah.
it was effectively a really great way of taking like they had a real. You're doing an entire show about death, and you managed to escape this kind of like these like headier topics, these more scary topics, these touching topics, and they managed to kind of because they took a show that every time a season ended, you were like, what the hell are they going to do next? How are they going to do this next?
How could this show possibly continue?
Like, how could they, like, what else is there to freaking write? And they somehow make it up. And they were like, we literally can't do anything else. So they did a double length episode. I thought it was executed really well, really touching. Hit just the right existential note for me to make me lose my shit. Weeping.
Yeah.
Weeping at 3 in the morning.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So like, fuck that show. But only because that show made me feel things. The last like 3 days has been legitimately hard to like not think about that show. I don't know. There's a lot of things that like added. I'm absolutely writing something about this because the last like 3 years and like 3 games that I've completed, 2 games that I've completed in this show have all really helped me like figure out how to cope with the death of someone that was really close to me and my grandfather a couple years ago. And so like the end of this show was just like, oh, cool. Like literally the beginning of the last episode when Jason is like, oh, I was like, oh, fuck, they're going to do this for everybody.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck, they're going to do this for everybody. So I like knew it in the moment and still wasn't able to set myself up for like the The picture a wave scene, which fucking decimated me, just like trembling on my couch, decimated me. And the Spiegel and Spiegel that's playing in the background, which is like one of the most contemplative and like somber and beautiful songs I've ever listened to. And like that started playing, and I was like, oh God. And then picture a wave, and I was like, oh God. And even after that, the like, none of this is bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
this is as it should be, right?
The thing
like,
that blew my mind was the fact that they managed to make like death in death. Like that was the thing.
Yeah, you a second ago said that like they did away with death, and I was like, but they super didn't.
No,
but they like, double death. Two death.
Right. You're eventually actually dead. Yeah.
Right, exactly. And it's like one of those things where it was wild because you're spending this whole time talking about the afterlife and you don't understand the gravity of what death is. Just I mean I didn't really expect them to go that route, to be like, hey, like you get to move, because I mean, I just it makes it exist. Yeah. It structurally also forces the entire show to exist in this really insular little, what's the dot of the eye and the Jeremy Bearimy? It's all right there. It's all
It's Tuesdays and also July.
Yeah.
And also it's never. And then he goes, yes, sometimes this is the place where never happens. And then Chidi goes, all right, this broke me.
This broke the time knife.
The time knife? Oh, Chidi. What's that actor's name?
William
Michael
Jackson Harper.
Yeah.
I saw recently that about his experience with like imposter syndrome on that show, and
homie, the show's on your shoulders, dude.
I mean, what an unbelievable performance from a great character. Like
this dynamic character that goes through these monstrously just moves and develops and changes, but it's all justified, and you feel it, and it's all right where it should be. It's touching, it's funny, it's relatable, it's disturbing, it's exciting, it's just an acting masterclass.
This was Jamila Jamil's first show.
Like what?
First acting.
Like what?
Right.
Everybody.
Obscene. Kristen Bell and Ted Danson, the two biggest pros in the history of TV. Like, no one has done more TV than those two. And they kill it the whole time.
The whole time, and it's... What is the actor that plays Jason? Because he also...
Oh, Manny Jacinto?
Yeah. Manny has a direct line to my freaking funny bone. Like, I can't explain
funny,
it.
Dude.
Oh, like, dip.
Oh, dip, yeah. like going through, I remember... First of all, this is also one of the few shows that upon completing season 1, I immediately went, and I'm watching all of that again. I think I've watched season 1 3 times. Because, I was like, oh shit, they really just did No Exit way better than No Exit ever was. For those of you who don't know what No Exit is, it's an awesome play by, who wrote No Exit? Oh my god, I don't deserve my theater degree.
Jean-Paul
Sartre.
Jean-Paul Sartre. Yeah, they accomplish that. There was, I think, I can pretty confidently say The Good Place was the best show of each of the 4 seasons that it aired. There was no show on TV that was doing anything better than The Good Place was doing itself.
No.
The only show that comes close for me in the last few years is maybe Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, which was also
is its
just
own vibe.
Completely different vibe. And I loved that one season of Watchmen, etc. There were other good shows.
Right, but Watchmen is its own... again, you can't... It's not TV, it's HBO.
But it is TV. It's 9 episodes.
It's TV. No, I know.
HBO can keep saying that all they want. It's TV. But...
some HBO marketing manager's like, guys, what if we told them it's not TV? And they were like, nah, yeah.
We're the home box office. But I think, I'm not saying that everyone that didn't like the finale is working on this same plane. But the finale of The Good Place is a complete ego death, right? It's this idea that, you are only how you affect other people. And eventually your story must end. Every conception of the afterlife that we have is ego driven, right? Whether it's the Christian heaven where I will continue to live on, my good deeds will be rewarded, or my bad deeds will come back to haunt me, or the idea of like reincarnation, that like you will continue to exist. And the ultimate like thesis statement of the good place being that no, you really must give up yourself for the sake of everyone else, and that's good. That's how it should be. This is how we should operate in this cooperation. And beautiful. Just like one of the most beautiful shows I've ever seen in my whole life.
So the last season for me did like 4 things. Like this show was writing out of my brain basically. So I had like 4 big issues that like the last season really approached for me, which were like, oh shit, okay, cool. One is one that's like, if heaven's literally everything's great, that's gonna get boring. That's what I thought I've had for years. Like if everything is perfect, the only reason why good things are good is because they can be contrasted with the bad. So if everything's perfect, like it's gonna suck eventually. So that show absolutely addressed that. Yeah. The first moment they get to the good place and the council's gone, everyone's like, I don't remember anything because I'm so fucking happy in quotation marks. I don't fucking care.
Right.
And then the realization that like the idea of heaven and hell being decided by a person that's not someone who's interacted with you while you were here on Earth has always been weird to me. And then like add on top of that like this planet does not afford many people time to be good enough that you can be sure you're gonna get to heaven. Like this planet is unfair, and like an unfair battleground cannot be used for the most fair judgment. And I don't get that. And they basically point that out. They're like, Earth is too fucking hard for people to get enough points to like actually make it there. So what if we made Earth the fucking placement test? And then you got to like see if you were gonna do anything with that in the afterlife, like making the afterlife the fair place first, and then giving you whether you're gonna go to the good or bad place based on whether or not you actually were worth shit at all. As we noticed, the dude that's introduced in season 4, the awful fucking
the country club dude. I don't remember
country club douchebag.
The capitalist.
He's like, why can't I tell somebody
the capitalist?
Why can't I tell somebody to smile, even if it will actually make them look better? Like, fuck, dude. So that's what is that? Is that 2 things so far? Unfair planet, unfair afterlife, so 2, and then fucking heaven sucking, and then the last one was that like the idea of like even if the afterlife makes you work for it and you get there, eternity is not fun. It can't be, because like part of what makes life the best thing is the fact that we all know it ends, and like knowing it ends means that we like attribute value to things that we do. We will all think about when we are older, we will all have a moment where we think about all the things that we've done, and this podcast will be one of those things, and these conversations will be one of those things, because our time is limited. And if our time's unlimited, then all those things get shuffled into a Rolodex, and nobody looks at their fucking Rolodexes. They just go in their phone to their quick dial. Like, making it a thing that was like, cool, so you're here, you can do whatever you want, but as soon as your soul is finished, as soon as your soul's like, that's all I wanted to do, then like, you'll know. And then it's time to go. Like, what else do you have to do? And like, I love that it's not like you're gonna die. It's not like you don't know when it's gonna happen. It's when you're content, then just give it back to the universe.
It's fascinating. It takes the idea of death by making one tiny changes the entire way that you can feel about it, and that is you're in control, right? So like for us, death is something outside of our control, and that's terrifying for some, and the struggle is finding peace with that. But then there's this idea of like, okay, but like when you're in control, when you get to choose, that's a blissful thing. There's some really cool reformatting and reframing of tricky stuff in it. And I don't know. My radical side also loved how they basically, without saying it, said like there's no such thing as ethical consumption under late stage capitalism.
Right?
Yeah, it's like you can't. It's not possible. The system does not allow you. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's still network TV, so they can't really say it outright. But they basically did.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
Did y'all notice that all the characters ended up becoming who they were supposed to be when they got to the good place the first time? Chidi was actually a well-renowned moral philosopher who did good for the universe. Eleanor was actually a good person who spent her life dedicating it to helping other people get through shit or get what they wanted.
Jason was a silent monk.
Jason actually became a fucking monk at the end. He just sat around for like 1,000 eternities, just like in a forest.
I did not realize that. That's wild.
Yeah.
Michael was actually an architect of the good place before he became a human.
Which were the two things he wanted to do.
Yeah.
And then Tahani
was a celebrity who thought that she was doing all that she did to help other people, but was doing it for herself, and she actually became a person that built tests to help other people through the afterlife at the end.
Right.
They all became who they showed up to the good place supposedly be.
It's my favorite kind of story. It's the stories that like speak the most to me. Is like human cooperation is the only way we're going to make it through this. Like that is our sole lifeline and life preserver. Is like helping each other and doing it because helping is the correct thing to do. And like the show we talk about every week is less direct in that thesis, but really like underlines that
largely
as well.
built on it. Yeah, 100%.
It's built on like we are a community, a mutual cooperation of people, and we do not see eye to eye on everything, but if we don't work together to make things better for everyone, then we're failing everyone. And
and we're just the mean clique.
God, it's the fucking Spider-Man quote too, right? The like, if you have the power to do something and you don't, when bad things happen, it's your fucking fault.
Right.
Yeah. So like, if we have the ability to actually impact change and help people, and we don't do that, when bad shit happens, it's our fault.
Yeah. It's being complicit. I mean, even to tie it down directly to like a real life thing, you know, when we talk about doing the anti-racism work that has been recently gotten a big, increase in publicity, if you will. It's not that it's a new struggle or a new journey, but it's being talked about more frequently. With anti-racism, it's like, if you don't do anything, you're contributing, right? Doing nothing is being complicit. If you do nothing in the face of injustice, you are contributing to that injustice. And it's hard to kind of bring that into to be able to relate to that, to bring that into that interpersonal, that personalizing it, being able to go, oh, I feel this myself, not just feel like someone's putting it on me, but to be able to see it in other characters and go, oh, that's me. Empathy, what shocking, right? Yeah. It's wow. This is chaos theory.
Chaos theory.
Yo, like this episode's perfect for this episode. Sorry, yeah, go ahead.
No, this is the perfect episode to talk about this, because this episode is literally a thesis on how human beings impact each other and continue to affect each other's lives. But this is, of course, Advanced Community Studies, a podcast where we watch the American television comedy Community 1 or 2 episodes at a time. We are the premier podcast of the Yahoo Screen Podcasting Network, first and only.
Yahoo!
I am one of your hosts, TV's Kevin Lanigan, and pizza in my tummy. Me so hungry.
Thank you for that. I really, that was lovely. Hey everybody, what's up? I'm Jace. I use they them pronouns, and today the gender I feel most connected to, because let's be honest, it does change, is Norwegian troll. I'm a tiny spooky creature, unkempt hair.
I live in a box.
Deep into your soul, that's accurate.
You can only defeat me by eating me.
Nothing you have said is false, Kevin.
And I'm daddy host. Caleb is what my family calls me. It's my government name. But on this podcast, I'm known as the Negro Problem.
Whoa! Caleb! Warn us!
Hey, we're talking
for
about
our listeners, Caleb can say that. Just in case anyone's...
Kevin and I can't say that.
I can't say that, but Caleb can, and I just want... just in case.
Troy and I can say that, so I
yes.
just... Yes.
My
I said that, and both of y'all's souls fucking jumped out of your chest. You were like,
I didn't expect you to do that.
My white guilt is doing somersaults.
It's one of my favorite lines. It's one of my favorite lines of this episode.
It's really good.
Context?
It's when Britta and Annie walk in and they're saying weird shit, and they're like, "We know not to talk about yada yada we know not to talk about certain things like
touchy subjects, like the Negro problem."
Like the Negro problem. And they're like, what? And then Abed's like, our book was from the 50s or some shit like that.
Yeah,
and they're like,
yeah. Great!
Which is why they have she's like, is this a bowl of olives in the bathroom? Troy's like,
it's a fancy party. God, Troy and Britta in the bathroom has such an exceptional run of jokes, including a perfect piece of physical comedy where Donald Glover says, "I know what you're doing. I'm an adult." Takes out a candy cigarette, puts it in his mouth. Britta goes to light it, and he just eats it without packing. It is a perfect piece of physical comedy.
It is perfect. It is. Oh my god. This is. I love Troy and Abed so much. You know, everybody who's listened to this for more than one episode knows that they're my favorites. But literally, this moment right here, where he's like, "I said I was gonna quit," you know, and he's tapping.
Pick the wrong time to quit.
Pick the wrong time to quit. And then with that also, there's this beautiful look in his eye of just, he puts it in his mouth and he stares kind of blankly, like he's deep in thought, and then it's like a rabbit eating a carrot, just the way that it kind of bounces as he, like the
man,
physical prowess that is encapsulated by Donald Glover. I just, so good.
Gonna break some ground here. Donald Glover, very funny man.
What?
Very funny man.
This is ground here, and I was like, "Oh, all right, a hot take season." And you were like, "No, I'm gonna cash in with a fucking facts."
Oldest, coldest take that I've known since like 2007 when I was watching Derek Comedy on YouTube, and I was like, "Man, this guy's fucking funny."
I would genuinely kill someone to get another Donald Glover stand-up. I don't think it'll ever happen, but I would probably go to jail for it.
Apparently, he's done making music now.
No, I think he said that, but I also heard that he's going to release another one. Who knows? He's going to leave us in a complete, I don't know what's happening next.
I saw him do a show in 2018 when he said this was his last tour. And then his album came out, was that earlier this year? And straight up, I know 2 songs that aren't on that album. I have them recorded on my phone from that show that aren't on that album. So, like, maybe he's making more music, or maybe he also music for tour and is launching it into the void.
I think he's also talked. He's also someone that talks about like the importance of experiencing the moment in the moment. And so I wouldn't put it past Donald Glover to have songs that were exclusively for the tour and nobody else gets them. To just have them be a moment in time, like going to see a Broadway show. It's like, yeah, you can listen to the cast album, yeah, you can read the script, but seeing it, being there is its own thing. And I think that might be his way of, I don't know, saying like, time, you're my bitch. I don't know, like, you know what I mean? I hate that I just said that. Cut that out.
Nope, that's staying in.
You have to live with it.
Donald Glover should do literally whatever he wants, and I'm like, cool. You want to get into book writing, Donald? I'll buy it. You know, like, whatever you want to do is what you should do. So if you tell me music is done, I'm like, well, Awake My Love was, like, the best album I've ever heard. So good job on that one. If he's like, you know, Atlanta 2 seasons were out, I'm like, damn, I will miss Atlanta. Okay, if that's what you say, then that is what I will.
I'll take anything I can get.
Exactly. So, like, whatever he says is correct. I just go with it.
It's correct. In other words, Donald Glover is God. I said what I said. You can keep that quote in.
Oh, okay, great.
The first two letters of his first name and the last.
I was about to
first letter
say,
of
is his
last
middle name
inserted
O?
it.
Because otherwise his initials would be God backwards. Which that could be something.
And let's be honest, God, if he could choose an animal, would probably choose a dog. So,
So, I feel the love of God in every doggy kiss that graces my lips. Before we fully segue into one of the big dog community episodes, I feel it is my due diligence to thank the good people of Twitter.com for going along with my bizarre campaign over the last week or so. Because yesterday, as of this recording, was October 19th, which is not only a big day in the community fandom because of the big, October 19th ad, it is also Gillian Jacobs' birthday. All the podcasts said we should watch an episode for Gillian's birthday, and we put it to a poll, and the poll was, Science of Illusion, the April Fool's episode from season 1, the Meow Meow Beans episode where she becomes Che Guevara with mustard on her face, and I put forward Advanced Safety Features, which is the big Honda episode where she and Rick start hucking Hondas. And generally online, Community Season 6 does not have a sterling reputation, which I think is felonious. That's a great season. And I was like, no, we're going to get Advanced Safety Features to the top, and campaigned for days. And, we moved that needle, and we did watch that episode yesterday. And that's because everyone went along with my dumb shtick. So I just want to thank everyone for that before we stumble into what might be the best community
all
episode.
This power.
I've tried to move the needle before. I think we were talking about what episodes we watch for Craig Kakowski's birthday, and I was always going to lose to conspiracy theories and interior design, but I did campaign hard for basic email security, where everyone's emails are hacked.
Oh my god!
And I got to second place for that one, but for Advanced Safety Features, y'all got together with me for some reason, and we moved from way in last to tied for first. So we watched it yesterday.
The episode's great.
It's a great episode. It's really
Paget Brewster's approach of the Dean is one of the most excellently acted. Just
a top 5 community moment for me.
I can't ask you any questions that don't end with idiot, and also it's so good. It's so good.
Honda.
The power of dreams.
Dean Pelton, I know how susceptible you are to advertising.
Would you say I'm a level 7 susceptible?
No, because why would I? Because that's Moonman talk. You mentioned a new kid earlier who told you about the new Honda Fit.
Rick.
Britta's boyfriend?
Yeah, but he's not. No. He's a good man. And he wouldn't secretly be working for Honda because when we first met, he was secretly working for a completely different company.
Are you? I don't know how to... I have a rule about being constructive, so I can't ask any questions right now because all of the questions that I have right now are rhetorical and they end with the word idiot. Do you know what a rhetorical... No, of course you know what that is. You're an idiot. I'm sorry. I am so sorry, but you're so stupid. You have no idea, and you're the only one who has no idea, because guess why? Don't answer that, you'll get it wrong. Oh, so dumb. You're just a dumb little man who tries to destroy this school every minute. I am sorry. I'm so sorry.
Which is not to go too far back, but I kept seeing October 19th, right?
Yes.
Gillian's birthday.
Yes.
But there's also another important meaning in the show?
Community history lessons with Kevin. And I open up I unfurl my scroll. The original premiere date for season 4 was October 19th. And very shortly before that, NBC announced, no, we're bumping Community until fucking February. And this was also the season where Dan Harmon was gone, so people were like, what is the future of this show? Is this going to be any good when we finally get it? But they released this big ad that I used as the teaser for this show on the podcast feed, where all the Community cast are in it, and they're like, October 19th isn't a date, it's a feeling. On a warm summer's day when you feel the kiss of the sun, that's October 19th. And it was this. It's funny. It's like a minute and a half. I'd recommend watching it if you have a second. And so that became, much like 6 seasons and a movie, it just became like this bit of iconography within the fandom, in the same way that like Trekkies will celebrate James T. Kirk's birthday. Just like whatever.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So that's why that's a significant date for Community, folks.
Gotcha. That makes sense. That
There you go.
actually makes sense.
And so now, 45 minutes into pressing record, let's get into Season 3, Episode 4, Remedial Chaos Theory, directed by Jeff Melman, written by Chris McKenna. In this episode, Troy and Abed have a housewarming party, and a simple roll of the die creates 7 different timelines, and we see each and every one of them. And this should be a nonsense episode. This should not make any sense. This should be obnoxious to like keep seeing the same beats repeated over and over again. But it is, in fact, one of the most finely crafted pieces of TV I've ever seen in my entire life.
I think it's so exciting. Also, I think that they really nailed the episode release order this season too, because of going from the Model UN episode, where we start to get a little bit of an idea that Abed is fully aware of multiverse, and like the idea that in the whole question, but what does it say about free will, and the idea that any small change would cause, you know what I mean? Like that kind of just the way that set this episode up so brilliantly without having to like talk about this episode. I don't know. It's they managed to kind of foreshadow this episode, and it's a really fun thing now when looking back to be like, that's right. There's this whole thing where they roll a die. Oh my god, it's so exciting! It's so exciting. Also, my favorite fun fact about this episode is the fact that they blew basically their entire music budget on Roxanne, and that's why they play that. What's that song called? Something
Daybreak.
Blues. Daybreak. That's why they play it like every other episode.
Yeah, you can watch them in these first 4 episodes between Lionel Richie's Hello and Roxanne by the Police. Just take a Looney Tunes dynamite plunger and just blow up their music
completely
budget.
Obliterate their budget.
So they have to make Daybreak last for the entire rest of the season. Roxanne was even paid for out of pocket by Dan Harmon and Chris McKenna. Like, they didn't even have this in the budget. They forked over the $15,000 or whatever to Sting to, like, use this song.
What is it? I mean, of course, it's a brilliant song choice, and I mean, obviously it's the right song choice, but I'm curious as to what the reasoning behind why it needed to be this song was. Because, I mean, it's obviously the right choice when watching it, but was there a logical reason behind it? Like, what is that? Is it just because, like, of course Britta freaking listens to Sting and the Police and knows the words to Roxanne while she's stoned out of her mind?
Right, because she's also, much like Sting, she is a blonde stoner.
Did you just saw the lyric?
No, it does sound like a sing-song lyric.
I thought you were doing that thing that you do.
You said a sing-song lyric, and
a sing-song
love
lyric. It is to use. I'm accidentally sounding very clever when I simply am not. But it's a tiny little tidbit. There is a documentary about the making of Emperor's New Groove that Disney does not want you to see, called The Sweatbox, about how hard it was to make that movie, and how Sting was supposed to do a bunch of original songs for the movie, and he had to rewrite all of them like 6 different times as they changed what the movie was. And there's this moment where they're on the phone with Sting, and Sting is like, I'm going to the Himalayas. I may return. Sting. Emperor's New Groove almost caused Sting to leave American civilization forever.
Incredible.
I did not leave being an English teacher for this.
Yeah, exactly. And I wrote a song about how horny all the girls were for me when I was an English teacher. Great job, Sting. This episode is not about Sting.
Is it, though?
Is it, though? Could I secretly put together a web that proves this episode is a thesis about Sting's musical catalog.
If our podcast has taught me anything, it's that if you ask yourself a question, Kev, it's because you know you can fucking do it. So I'm gonna pull a line from The Office right now when the owner of Sabre is looking at Dwight
Sabre?
trying to justify that he hasn't shot the floor and say, stop asking yourself easy questions so you can make yourself look like a genius.
Here, now, you've set me up for incredible failure, because the real issue here is that I do not like Sting or the Police, and so I don't know enough to put this Pepe Sylvia
Kevin, what a
web
coincidence.
together.
I don't like the Police either.
I fucking hate them. And his dumb, like...
No,
his...
Britta hates them too.
I hate cops.
Look, I hate cops. Oh, all police are bastards.
That's including you, Sting.
Yeah, you fucker. I don't know anything about Sting personally.
It's not a Broadway musical called The Last Ship. There's some jaunty tunes in there.
Okay.
You like sea shanties? Go for it.
I fucking love sea shanties. Do not threaten me with a good time. I will
truly,
take
check out the last ship. There's a song that is just amazing called I believe the full title is If You Ever See Me Talking to a Sailor. Oh my god. Check it out. It didn't do great on Broadway, but like Sting wrote a musical. And quite frankly, now we know if Sting, the Police, and U2 went up against each other for writing musicals, we know who wins.
The audience.
The audience.
The audience. For those of you,
stupidest.
Did y'all get that was a? Did y'all get
a Spider-Man turn off the dark?
Okay, cool.
Let's see. Yeah, U2 has written a Broadway musical. Sting, Steve Martin,
I was like,
Sarah Bareilles.
You said U2 has written. I was like, but
U2 has written a Broadway musical.
Alanis Morissette.
Did she rearrange those songs, or is it just a jukebox musical of hers?
So Tom Kitt, or is it Brian Yorkie? Tom Kitt and Brian Yorkie are the duo that did Next to Normal, which is a fabulous show.
To get back to the Police briefly, I haven't read anything about why they would specifically choose this song for this episode, but I think it is pretty much the perfect song for this moment, even though I am not crazy about it. You know,
I have no idea why.
It's infinitely singable. Like, everyone knows the chorus of Roxanne, so everyone can get up together and sing. But, like, I don't know, that song's not really about anything. It's about, like, you don't have to be like, the Flight of the Conchords saying, you don't have to be a prostitute.
Yeah.
And
oh, that's exactly what it is.
It's exactly what Britta would put on, like, the iPod Shuffle. Wow. It's a song they can all sing together, and like every good time loop story, the filmmakers find visual and audio cues to let us know every single time the timeline is restarting. It's all the best ones have a moment. You know, in Groundhog Day, it's I Got You Babe on the radio, and in Russian Doll they have a song that plays every time the timeline restarts. I forget Palm Springs, but Palm Springs has one as well. Like, they all learned the same lesson, is that if you have a great audio cue, even more than a visual cue, we will know exactly, okay, the timeline has restarted. The buzzer rings, we have the close-up of their apartment call box, and then we're very shortly gonna, and then Jeff says, like, starting on my left with 1, your number comes up, you go. And that is our brain very quickly learns, got it, new timeline. Understood.
Yep.
Because we get a cute little graphic when we are entering a new timeline, but we don't get it when we're exiting one.
Yeah.
They just do a hard cut to the buzzer.
It's great. It's really, it's so good. It's so good. I also, for some reason, I can't shake the image of Britta kind of doing that weird, like, hop run thing that
that's her pizza me so hungry in my tongue.
Her bow-legged dance when she hungry and very high.
This is the big pivot for me in Britta's, like, character development, where we're like, oh, now we get to see, like, the weird side of Britta, right? She's finally opened up with this crew, and this is the episode where we see it. And you're like, oh, that's who Britta. Oh, that's who Britta.
She feels comfortable enough now around all of these people to just be the biggest dork in the entire world.
I love it. I love it so much.
It's beautiful. I remember watching this episode live for the first time, like in a room full of Community fans. And we didn't like look up the episode synopsis of what tonight's episode was going to be beforehand. So like every time this happens, you just like look to the people next to you and like, are you seeing what
this
they're
really
doing
happening
right now?
Yeah, sure,
Is this happening on TV right now? The wildest shit. That great like communal watching experience.
Yeah.
Remember that? To do it. Barely at this point.
I remember having a party for E3 when Keanu Reeves came on stage, and my entire living room erupting and it being incredible. And then this year,
you're breathtaking. You're breathtaking.
Oh, it was the best. It was the best of times.
That's it.
End of
it was
sentence.
the best of times.
Because it wasn't the worst of times, because we're in that now. Darkest timeline. Here we go.
The episode that gave us the terminology to describe what is happening.
Yeah, I mean, like, this was a zeitgeist shifting episode. This was.
Some would say it's a poltergeist.
Sorry. Oh, whoa! I don't even know how to feel about that.
Jokes. I'm full of dumbass jokes. That's how you feel about it. Go on, please.
Hell yeah!
Do something
I like
notable.
it. I like it. Hey, at least we didn't just stare at you, not understanding your joke.
Oh, come on, dude! You gotta let me off the fucking hook for that. I just.
No, listen,
I'm
at least
I only drooled a little bit, okay? It was not my fault, okay? Your joke
Jason's
shot
like,
my brain
least
from
we're
my
still
head.
fucking here, dude.
You know, right? Hey, I'll make it up when I mess with your head later.
Absconded from the podcast when I made a joke.
I'm taking my joke and I'm going home.
Hey, I'll get it back when I sing the theme song later.
And you'll
I'm confident
hit it
saying that now because I know you're still gonna forget by the time I do it that I'm gonna do it.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna write it down one of these days, and my watch is gonna be like, "Don't get fucked up."
We never know how long we're gonna go before we actually start talking about the show. So next thing you know, if you do that, the phone's gonna go off in the middle of recording.
Yeah, my alarm's gonna go off in the middle of this
longer
recording and be like,
longer.
"Don't get fucked," and I'm gonna be like, "What the fuck is why?
mean?
Why would my watch tell me not to get fucked?" And then it's gonna happen, and I'm gonna be like,
yeah. I did sometime. You know, now that we've talked about it, you might remember it, but I'm hoping you won't. So we shall see. Wait, isn't this the episode that Troy also bakes a recipe where he takes?
No.
That's their first. That's the first episode after their exile.
Yeah, after the Greendale 7 are expelled. That is
cook my food.
The pizza bagel casserole with a Doritos glaze or whatever it is. You can watch a YouTube video where fucking Binging with Babish
we love Andrew Mayo.
We love Binging with Babish, don't we, folks? We love Binging with Babish.
We love it. We love it, Babby.
That dude, like, I hope that dude gives like 10% of his earnings to the creator of Bob's Burgers, because he makes like every fucking burger they make on that show.
I have his book.
You have the book?
I have the book, the Eat What You Watch book that he did. It's great. It's so much fun.
It.
Also, he just recently released a video. Not to go too far off, there's been an episode that I've been.
What's that mean?
Wait, what?
What's too far off mean? I don't know.
Yeah, we never got on, so it's hard to get off.
There's
Hey, speak for yourself, buddy.
Whoa, I've been waiting for it.
Me so hungry.
Did you hear Jace hitch on his? Did you hear on this next sentence? Sorry, they knew that we were gonna fucking make a sex joke about.
I was like, wait for it.
This was like, wait. I'll let them get this out because it needs to happen.
Everyone's like, I can't do it.
Let you get what out?
Jesus.
Fuck off.
Okay.
This is my nightmare.
Anyway, this is my nightmare. Wow.
Thank you.
No, literally, okay. But when Binging with Babish started becoming like a bigger thing, I mean, I have been watching for a while, but like when it started to really gain some steam, which he deserves all of it, he's incredible. Steven Universe is my favorite show on the face of the planet, which I'm also, you two haven't watched it yet, have you? We will talk about it later. I will turn this car around. We will talk about this later. But when it comes down to, there is an episode called Food Wars, where Steven makes French fries with ketchup inside the fries, and he makes pizza bagels with cream cheese in the bagel underneath the pizza. And I was like, Babish, Andrew, come on, we want it.
Homie.
He finally did it.
Homie.
Yo. Baby.
Excuse me, bro. I'd like it if you did this video. Excuse me, bro.
Excuse me, Babby.
Excuse
But
me.
yeah, he did it. It's amazing. It's so good. Check him out.
You wrote a Dear Babby letter. That is a joke for all the 40-year-olds in our listening audience.
Chase just fucking detonated. Where did you go? Okay. I just looked back at the camera. Chase is gone.
I was worried you were lost forever.
Wow.
Kev, what the fuck did you do with Chase?
Why did that? It's so hard.
It knocked your fucking soul out of your body. You just
broken.
You reacted to that the way
All right,
that the deed reacts to Jeff in Aviators.
That's exactly what that moment was.
Shadow.
Shadow.
Dare we try
dare.
to press it?
Sorry,
Aaron.
It's okay. Anyone can look up like a picture of them planning this episode, like all of the independent story circles that they made to try and piece all these disparate timelines together. And I think about the daunting task of that, and I truly melt into a puddle.
Imagine
like the Wicked
doing
Witch of
that
the West.
while trying to make it fit Dan Harmon's story circle. Like, what kind
And
of...
also planning 21 other television episodes for this season. You know? Like, can you
Yeah, how is this
imagine?
not the finale? How is this just not finale energy?
Episode 4.
They were like, all right, here's the deal. We're going to come out the gate swinging.
All right, now people are maybe gonna... Because I remember the first 3 episodes of this season...
You just dumped right out of that accent.
He abandoned
I
the sentence
remember
too.
these 3 episodes were coming out, and I was... Like, there were good parts in all 3, especially the first 2. And then there was this nagging sense in my body. I was like, is this show kind of like losing its thing? These episodes are kind of like casually cruel. It's really like testing my ability to like some of these characters. And then they hit you with fucking Remedial Chaos Theory. They just like whip out a Bugs Bunny frying pan and just whap you upside the fucking head with it. And your head turns into the shape of a frying pan as your world is rocked. That, like, these
Oh, that's a fucking word
yeah,
picture,
you're
friend.
welcome. A word picture.
Hey, Kevin, you ever tried writing?
You know, I've dabbled, and I also like watching cartoon shows on my exercise bike. I like Looney Tunes specifically. It's very good to watch and to see. But this, you know, they take there are these repeated elements that come at you again and again and again throughout the episode where it's like, okay, which timelines is Jeff going to hit his head? Is Shirley going to bake the pie? Is Britta going to do her pizza dance? Is Pierce going to bring up Eartha Kitt? Like, there's all, Jeff and Annie, are they going to be together in the sequence? And it's this beautiful, like, mosaic as these tiles slide in and out of each other. And sometimes you get, like, a setup for something 5 timelines ago, or you get a payoff that is a preamble to its own setup. There's, like, all these disparate...
You can watch it so many times and find so many little things in it, you know? And some of the stuff they even set up in previous episodes, like I was talking about before, Abed talks about the multiverse idea earlier in the season, or last season.
No, the multiverse
Was
thing
it
is
last
2
season?
episodes ago at the Model U
That
event. Like, it's just, yeah.
2 episodes, yeah. And then even the
Yep.
Eartha Kitt thing, right? That's also, Pierce brings that up early this season, and it's like, it's disturbing then and disturbing every time it happens in this episode, but it's also a fun thing to be like, hey. Could you imagine also, at the time this was released, streaming and binge watching wasn't really a thing,
No,
right?
like, we are...
So, like, these weren't made to be watched over and over again. So the fact that we get to is insane that there was the foresight to be like, no, make it so that if you can tell that they did it because it was fun for them to do it. They were like, I mean, shit, if we put a bunch of Easter eggs, it'll be fun for us.
And there were still like DVDs, like that was still when like TV shows made a decent amount of profit off DVD sales.
Hold the phone. The fuck is a DVD?
It's a miniature laser disc.
Jason sure looked like you took me seriously for a second. I knew so fast.
The laser in your PS4 reads it. I honestly don't know how DVDs work. Like, I know I put them in the thing and the thing happens, but if you ask me to explain the technology, I could never.
Oh, I can tell you.
If you want to.
I can tell you. Yeah, so it's lasers, right? There's frequencies, they're real small vives, okay? Basically waves. But
Yes,
hear me out. It's gonna make sense. So so you know how when it's basically like a vinyl record, right? But compressed so freaking small that you can't use a tangible object to measure it. You have to literally use waves. So there's, for every 1 or a 0, there's either an indent or the lack of an indent, right, in decoding on the CD. And as it spins, there's a laser staying in the same place. And based on the reflection of the wavelength, because they're so insanely small, that it tells you whether or not there's a 1 or a 0 there. So imagine how a computer saves all of this information. You've got your file saved. It's all 1s and 0s, right? Kind of breaks your brain. That whole process of how 1s and 0s can make an image, that's its own thing. I can't get into that. That's just like telling you each pixel has to be this color and this, that it's this whole, the coding itself is bananas. But they take all that and they turn it into 1s and 0s. They etch it onto a tiny, tiny disc and they make it so small the only way you can read it is through a wavelength. That's why Blu-ray, right, came out and picture got that much better, because they changed the color of the laser, which changed the wavelength of the laser, which meant that it brought it to a bluer wave, which meant that they could effectively, without getting into the physics of like how that affects wavelengths, but it meant that they could fit more bits of information in less space, because the blue wavelength could reflect back at a more efficient rate with smaller indents. So there's more it makes sense.
My brain.
I said it like fucking Bill and Ted, but that was me going like, oh, Blu-ray.
I said it like I was joking, but
I wasn't. I'm just dumb.
My mind's
dumb. I mean, this is all the stuff that like there's not really an effective reason for anybody to learn this other than being a massive freaking nerd.
Just a big old dork, yeah. And I do appreciate. I was, you know what? I was trepidatious about us getting onto this, but I did learn something, and I appreciate the valuable service you've done for me, and I assume our listeners.
And we all also now know that Kev's baseline for allowing us to speak is if we're going to teach him anything.
Yeah.
Where do you wrinkle my brain? No.
We make an evaluative judgment, and am I going to learn something? If not, want no part of it. Get out of here. Education only.
Scooby-Doo, if you can't tell me what's new, I don't want to hear it.
You know what? Scooby-Doo, I learned something every episode. Who was the carnival ghost? Why, it was Old Man Withers, and I've learned something here today.
You kind of sounded like Lillard there for a second.
Matthew Lillard?
That's correct.
Zoinks! The greatest performance in a film, perhaps of all time, Matthew Lillard as Shaggy in the live-action Scooby-Doo movies, and I'm barely joking. Barely kidding.
So close to not joking, one could be forgiven for making the mistake.
My God, watch one behind-the-scenes video of Matthew Lillard in the live-action Scooby-Doo movie where he's talking to a tennis ball on a stick, and think about the life he's giving not only his character but the tennis ball on a stick. It's the most astounding performance in the history of cinema. No one has interacted with a digital creation better than Matthew Lillard in the year of our Lord 2000. I mean, go watch Phantom Menace.
Motion capture. It was incredible.
Yeah, it wasn't like there was no Andy Serkis in a little suit, so at least you're talking to a person. Think about how bad the interactions are in Phantom Menace 1 year before that Scooby-Doo movie, and think about how on game Lillard is in the year of our Lord 2000. It's unassailable. And doing a voice and doing like monologues to no one because it's, again, a tennis ball on a stick. He's the greatest actor in the history of cinema.
Nothing but respect for my president.
For Matthew Lillard, who has been every different version of hot. It's unbelievable.
It's genuinely unfair.
It's unfair. He's been punk hot. He's
Yep.
been stoner hot. He's
Yep.
been dad hot. I'm
Yep.
personally angry. I'm upset.
He makes serial killer hot. How?
How? NBC's Hannibal, streaming now on Netflix.
I just want to point out how many people we can imitate on this podcast. Because it's if you like lapse for a second and go check something, all of a sudden Seinfeld's yelling about something, and you're like, "Well, where the fuck?"
What the damn hell?
That was my decidedly awful Seinfeld impersonation. I'm much better at doing voices of people that don't actually exist. If we can learn anything from Remedial Chaos Theory, it's that time is fake.
Is that time is fake and Jeff and Annie shouldn't be together.
Should not be together. They should not.
They fuck it up
They should
immediately.
not.
It's incredible. It's incredible. And this coming 2 episodes after the Model UN episode, which, like, made me think maybe Jeff Winger needs to go to jail. And then this happens,
Which he
and Annie's
does.
like, "You remind me of my dad." And I was like, how could anyone... Again, I'm not here to shame Jeff Annie shippers. You know, everyone is entitled
Shame on
to their
I
own
am.
stuff.
Shame on
I
you.
am.
I am. Shame on you.
You are alone in that lack of shame.
As the
Jason and I
cultural
are both like,
ambassador
"Fuck
of the
that
pod,
shame."
as the cultural attaché to the fandom, I have to be impartial, but y'all can express your.
Wait,
I get it. I get it.
hear
You're not
that.
supposed to yuck anybody's yum, but like
Yeah, I'm not
sometimes
gonna yuck
your
anybody's
yums-
yum.
Sometimes your yums would be dumb.
I will yuck that yum. For me, there's an expression, right, within the queer
Emerald
community.
Lagasse, fucking.
There's bam. There's an expression within the queer community, and it's more so a question, and we know the answer, but we still ask it all the time, and it's, are the straights okay?
Y'all, I worry about the straights.
Caleb, can you tell us, are the straights okay?
Oh, as a straight man
the straights
who ostensibly would like basically get down with whoever if it happened, I guess, maybe,
Yeah,
possibly.
you
I
know,
don't know.
we've
I don't
all
know why I
talked
turned
about
into
Henry
Jeff
Cavill on this
Goldblum
show.
for a second there. I don't know, maybe.
Well,
Try and
happened.
see.
Maybe I could do.
I don't know what
but
that
as somebody with some friends that are friends that are so straight, you could like
cut yourself.
measure.
So straight you could
straightness of
level a
something.
shelf on them. Yeah.
Yeah, but friends that are so straight that like you could point them in a direction and just leave the planet.
They're so straight that they think that Jeff and Annie is a good couple.
Oh, that's not straight. That's ostensibly rich and white, but still. There's,
I love
have-
that take.
You know,
I have
like
many friends who are in a just like a constant state of terror because they're like, but like,
I just don't get it.
but how? It's like I wish I could explain it to you in any way, but I know that no explanation I have is going to be satisfactory.
to be friends with the straights is to live in a state of terror. It's truly.
Look,
It's
I'll be
really-
friends with the straights.
Yes, of course.
I'm just saying. I mean,
Are y'all
well,
okay?
are you okay? First of all, I was gonna say you'd never catch me dating a straight, but that's because straights would, by definition, not be attracted to me. So
Sure. That the math, the science checks out. It all
As
makes sense.
statements
as a
go,
non-binary
that
person,
may be one of the most obvious statements I have in fact heard in my life.
And yet,
A straight
should
man
be said.
would not date me. You know, shit.
or a straight woman. I'm just
Oh,
I'm
okay,
just
you're
very
right.
straight. I am not a boy or a girl. Therefore, if you date me, you're not a straight. Kevin just does a single snap
One step
with his hair
for
released.
emphasis.
Yeah, I
Long
released my hair
mane.
from the ponytail. We're in hour 3 of the Remedial Chaos Theory
Oh, y'all
report.
can both eat a dick, okay? I'm fucking balding, and y'all out here with luscious locks, and I have to grow mine below my nose. I hate it.
Caleb, next time you threaten me, do it with something I won't enjoy.
Don't threaten me with a good time.
I guess
But it's okay. I
myself
mean,
up to that.
Caleb, I encourage you, if you're ever concerned about your hairline, Google Joel McHale in Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 2 and realize that any hairline is possible.
Joel McHale's in that movie?
Joel McHale's
Oh, dog. He's the one that won't give Aunt May a toaster at the bank, and my man's hairline is on the other side of his head. And you're like, science has achieved incredible things. Science has come so far in the world of Joel McHale's hairline. You can even see it big time between Community Seasons 1 and 2. You're like, he has added hair to his head. And no shame.
Oh my God.
Joel McHale, handsome man. I regret no one getting hair plugs. His look, phenomenal, by the way.
Oh, hey, straight up. The first episode of The Office, the first season of The Office, and season 2 of The Office, Steve Carell goes from like thinning at the top to full head of hair.
Uh-huh.
They
And
did that.
again,
That was through styling. I remember watching that. That was a very distinct move because he was so unlikable that they were like, we need to fix his hair.
Can't look
when
like
he
shit
goes from the
always.
slick back to the comb, it changed his character in a big way. But again, they're Hollywood actors. Like, I understand. Like, this is part of it, and I regret no one. And I think those two gentlemen, their hair plugs look great. It did happen. It did transpire.
Honestly, I bet you he did it with that Spider-Man 2 money.
Exactly. Like, he.
You think Joel McHale made enough money from Spider-Man to do anything long-lasting in his life?
I mean,
Spider-Man
the
2?
residuals on Spider-Man 2.
Yeah.
Like,
resids-
that movie
resids, I
playing
guess.
constantly on airplanes and FX. Joel probably cleaned up from Spider-Man 2. I'm
Right,
not even
that's a good-
kidding.
I mean, if
Like,
it wasn't
Joel-
Spider-Man 2, it was definitely the soup.
Yeah, exactly. The soup, and like, Community was never the biggest show on the network, but you're the main character on an NBC sitcom for 5 years. You're probably gonna do okay. Like, if you're smart, you don't need to work a whole lot going forward. Which is why I think we've seen most of the Community actors apply themselves very judiciously. Gillian, Danny, etc., they made enough money to be like, okay, what do I want to do after Community?
Sure.
And they've all worked, and I think they've all had very fine careers. I'm just, they made enough money.
are in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Or are affiliated with the Marvel company in some way.
Right.
Large or small. November 20th, Marvel 616 on Disney Plus, directed by Gillian Jacobs and Alison Brie.
Incredible.
Incroyable. But this fucking episode of Community, it squeezes so much into 21 and a half minutes. Like, it's the origin of the Darkest Timeline thing. They squeeze in a huge end tag. They squeeze in 7 different timelines. Advancements to the Jeff and Annie relationship, even though it's in a different timeline. The Troy and Britta relationship, even though it's in a different timeline. Neither of which I'm, like, wild about, but they do advance those. Mm-hmm. Troy and Pierce, like, everyone's relationship moves forward. They decide to let Annie move in. They create one of the great gifts of all time where Donald Glover walks in with the pizzas and the room is on fire. One of the great all-time gifts. It's in the pantheon. Like,
it's people that don't know Community know that gift.
Bunch of people with Netflix have discovered where that gif is from.
I should have been like, oh shit, that thing. There's few episodes that give me like, maybe it's not even episodes that I should point out. There's few times a TV show even does a thing for like 30 straight seconds that's so good, when it ends, when it cuts to something else, you go, hold the phone. I need to go back and watch that again. Eleanor Shellstrop realizing they're in hell, and then Michael's like, perfect. It's so good, and it fucked me up. I was like, oh shit, he is a demon. Super good.
If there is a moment that is the case for having commercial breaks, it's that moment from The Good Place that you're like, right,
figured it
this
out.
is why we have commercial breaks. This is why they're still okay. Because, goddamn, there really is nothing better than a good
Did you just see what I just saw? Because I just saw something and I don't know how to feel about it, but I need to talk about it, and I don't want to talk about it when the show comes back because I'm going to talk over what's happening and like,
No,
so like this show does that a few times to me. Like, one of the first ones is in the first season when Troy's navigating his sneeze, and that whole intro section is
With
like no, it's like the Britta offering to pay for Abed's thing, and then Shirley being like, "Isn't his dad a Muslim? He'll cut your head off with a salami sword." And then Annie saying, "That's the most racist thing I've ever heard." And then Jeff saying, "Pierce will beat that in 30 seconds." And then Troy sitting down and sneezing, and then everyone laughing, and Jeff saying Troy sneezes like a girl, and then him saying, "How about I pound you like a boy? That didn't come out right." And then Shirley being like, "It's okay." And then Troy being like, "You're not my mother." And then Pierce being like, "She's not." And then Jeff being like, 27. Like, that whole fucking... It's so fucking good.
No, that's the tightest. Yeah, that one.
It's so good. And so, like, specifically, the timeline where Troy goes to get the pizza is just like this fucking list of things where, like, it's been set up by the 3 or 4 that have come before, where you're like, what does a pregnancy test look like? And he's like, a little stick with a thing on it. And he's like, so this is definitely a gun. Like, that's one of
Donald's
those
delivery
so
on that
good.
line.
It's so
Holy
good.
shit.
It's so
Holy
good.
shit.
But, like, we have all that information.
That every time, and it breaks me because there is no reason. There's absolutely no reason for him to
What's
go.
your pregnancy test look like? Oh, so this is definitely a gun. Like, what the fuck? But when he goes to get the pizza, we have just enough information for, like, all of these things. Like, we've seen the Raiders of the the Temple of Doom model.
Boulder.
So, like, the boulder's falling, and Britta's going to the bathroom, but Troy's not there this time, so Abed goes with her, so Abed's not around to catch the boulder, because we've seen him do that. It's just all these things that stack up, and, like, the fucking bottle, and the table, and the boulder, and the shatter, and the gunshot, and fucking Pierce bleeding all over Shirley's face. And then Troy walking up and seeing it, and his only reaction being to just, like, scream.
Wide eyes.
And then it just cuts away to the next thing. Like, none of this actually happened. We're gonna cut away and make you think of something else. And it's I've gone on a rant, but like there are a few moments in shows that make me go, hold on, I need to watch that whole 45-second movement again, because not only is it tight and perfect, like, it does more than what I was able to see the first time seeing it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And this episode is kind of full of those.
As
Shirley's
the chorus
breakdown,
of
Shirley's
Roxanne
breakdown.
plays over the chaos. It's just a beautiful bit. Anyway.
Shirley's nervous breakdown.
Nice.
It's just
Nice.
I know, I didn't say it
nervous
on
breakdown.
purpose.
More like a breakdown. I know. I didn't say it on purpose.
That's so good. And like I was trying to like pay attention to like, okay, where are the like commercial breaks? Like, how are we structuring this? So we get like the full intro and 2 timelines before the first commercial break. And then the second break is basically the Darkest Timeline section. And then we come back and we have like 2 more as we like roll into.
So it's 2, 2, and then 2.
It's like, well, it's 2, 4, and 2, or whatever, 2, 3, and 2, whatever that math would work out.
Oh,
to be.
right, because there's.
But they like
right.
they portion it out so well, and then also include one of the great end tags at the end of it. And it's like, why don't we just also do all of this?
What if we did all of the things right at once?
Yeah.
Which end tag is this? This isn't the.
This is the Darkest Timeline end tag, where Pierce,
Oh,
may
yes.
he rest in Pierce. Shirley, don't you think
had
you've had
enough of you?
Of you?
Doesn't make any sense. I make your ass sense.
That's Yvette destroying once again. But that's where like Abed pulls out like the Star Trek beards and Jeff's arm and
Yes.
Britta's wash away blue streak. Exactly.
Britta's-
Things got dark.
Things got dark.
Troy's voice box just my
The voice
goddamn.
box
She don't know anything about vanquishing trolls.
Just goddamn community. Like, thank you, TV show. Thank you for this episode. I'm so glad you gave it to me.
Honestly, I haven't had a feeling that this show has given me until finishing The Good Place and realizing that
Yeah.
The Good Place is going to be a show that's going to hold an equally special spot in my head canon. But like, yeah, dude, Community delivers. like over and over. And we've said this before, right? Like there are moments in this show in the first season where you're like, this show shouldn't be this good yet, and there's moments in the second season when you're like, yo, the second season's not the best one. That's never how it goes, but it is. And then like, you know, like this show is a constant reminder that like the people making this have their shit together and have an idea of how to make these characters work well. On top of the fact that, as we know from experience, that like all of these characters worked really well, all these actors really worked well together because they were like a big old family. Minus
and it
one
shows.
old,
It shows.
old.
Well, there's always that one uncle.
Yep.
And they're always named Chevy. I don't understand how that happens.
Weird.
I can't imagine naming my kid after a truck.
I can't imagine naming a truck after. Nope, sorry, bad joke.
Hey, you're in a party with a dad right now, so your jokes can't be that bad.
That's
At least
right.
that's
It
what
makes
everyone
your
around me tells me.
it makes your much like, you know, having Pierce there means there's like a target for all of our vitriol, but if you take Pierce away, suddenly everything falls apart. But don't worry. We have Pierce. We have a sounding board. It's a dad.
Exactly. Anytime you feel like your joke is bad, just let me deliver it, and it'll get better.
Exactly. If you don't have Pierce, Jeff is going to be too mean to Troy. And then if you don't have Abed, everyone is going to end up fighting. If you don't have Troy, everything's going to fall to pieces. And,
It's a remarkable episode demonstrating how truly codependent these people are.
A notion we will come back to again and again and again over the course of the show. But for now, we segue into rankings, where I feel like we have a couple high rankers on our hands here. First, on the docket, the end tag, the darkest timeline.
It's top 5 easy. Easy
Top
top
5 easy.
Regardless,
It's
Batman
so
Chat is
easy
getting
to
kicked
spell
out.
easy with just E and Z.
Easy. Yeah.
Yeah, E-Z.
Not even a dash. We don't even need it. It's just
It's the E. It's ease, dude. It's ease.
I would say the darkest timeline tag is the only tag that rivals these two, Spanish Rap and the first Troy and Abed in the Morning, in terms of sheer iconography.
Absolutely.
In terms of, like, this is an endemic part of the show and a beloved tag. Because I love, like, the Coogler movie trailer, but it doesn't have the same cachet that this end tag does.
I'm in agreement. Agreeance. Agreeal.
For me, this would be my number 2, only because Fiddler Please sends me into pure joyous raucous laughter, and this is just slightly below that. But if you argued for number 1, I'd take it.
Fiddler Please is like I can literally go into any conversation and be like, it's hard to be Jewish in Russia, and it makes everyone laugh, even if you haven't watched it. So like, that's got some cachet. So like,
I think it's definitely funnier than Spanish Rap, but like it's not as iconic as Spanish Rap. Like Spanish Rap is this like thing you watch it and you're like, oh, that was amazing.
My God. And it's like the first one, and it just fills you with love.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. This is number 2 for me, just because Fiddler Please is just kind of like, there's something really exciting about how it's so simple, and this one's like a complex one. So this is my number 2 for me.
That works.
All right.
I have no
timeline.
I rarely have anything to add, but no.
It's number 1. It's number 1. This is the best episode.
Papa,
what do you say? Episode.
Oh, I thought that was a foregone conclusion.
Okay. I was wondering, like, I
didn't say anything for a second because I thought maybe you'd be like, maybe he's gonna No, I do.
Actually, I don't think it's as good as Asian population studies, number 20.
No,
I figured it would end up being number 1. I was wondering if we would get to a place where it would be like number 3, but it sounds like the undisputed number one.
It's number 1.
So, Remedial Chaos Theory. Can anything beat it?
Keep tuning in to find out, folks.
We're gonna be hard pressed to find one that will, but I don't think it's
this top 3 right now, like we keep being like, wow, this is an insane top, but this top 3, Remedial Chaos Theory, Mixology Certification, and Advanced Dungeons and Dragons, is just like,
That's an impenetrable wall.
That's a solid Chang. I say, goddamn.
And then, like, intermediate documentary, fistful of paintballs, paradigms of human memory, modern warfare, physical education, comparative religion, conspiracy theories is number 10.
That's crazy.
10.
It's horde out here.
Abed's Uncontrollable Christmas is 13.
I know. Chicken Fingers is 15.
Bananas.
Chicken Fingers is 15? That's the one that does it for me.
Yeah.
Holy shit. 15?
But, like, then you're like, how could that be? And then you look above it and you're like, yeah, all right.
Yeah, I'm not moving anything.
Yeah, all right.
I can't. If I could, I'd do it for you. But I can't. I can't do it.
You know what, guys? You know what? It checks out. I did the math. It's good.
Carry the one.
There is maybe one episode to come that could. Sorry.
No, I just got
Jace just suggested doing physical math to check to make sure it checks out. And
that's one of my
jokes.
favorite bits. Someone asks me something, I'll say something, and if I'm not sure about it, I go, wait, hold on a second, and I go, okay. So.
Hold on, carry the one.
No, wait, okay, so.
Get it? Fucking, you're
Then
writing on the window,
one,
like in the social network. You're just like, oh, God.
No, you gotta get the marks down. Carry the one, okay, and then
Carry the one, okay.
chest down, neck, that, close. Yeah, no, that checks out.
And y'all know me too well because Kev, it's specifically a line from the Social Network when one of the lawyers is like, "You donated $1,000," and he's like, "Yes," and then she's like, "And then you donated $15,000," and he's like, "Yes," and then she's like, "So you donated $16,000," and Jesse Eisenberg's phenomenal performance as Mark Zuckerberg's like, "Hold on a second," and goes, "Yep, that checks out. It's 16,000." It's such a good fucking movie.
How is it that, like, 90% of our record sessions, I'm like, fuck, I should watch The Social Network. How?
Because I'm a Sorkin slut, and
no, I've seen it like 15 times. I'm just like, I should watch that again. That's a good movie.
It's a phenomenal movie.
It's a good movie.
Army Hammer's in it twice.
Yeah.
Oh,
Maybe.
Fun fact. Sorry, we get distracted too easily. Fun fact.
No, it's okay.
Like, when I was younger and saw that movie in 2010, a full fucking 10 years ago, who would have thought we would be here now? That I never noticed that was two of the same person. I was just like, oh, they found twins. And then I found out it was two of the same person. And then I found out that they had another person.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like that weird realization your brain when you're 18.
They filmed it with
a
body double but they didn't know while filming whether they would put Armie Hammer's face on this dude or if this dude would play the other twin.
Yeah, so it wasn't a body double. It was like an actual legit fucking actor.
Yeah, it's an actor.
And they couldn't
that
decide
eventually
was gonna be
had Armie Hammer's face put on his face.
Yeah, and the reason I bring that up is there are moments early in that movie where you can tell that it's 2010 because the face mapping on the one that's not actually Armie doesn't look great.
Sometimes it's shaky when they're both in the same shot. Obviously, if there's only one in the shot, they just like had put on a different shirt or whatever.
Right. Specifically when they're rowing, it's like, oh, that's not Armie Hammer.
The motion was tough.
Yeah.
But most of the time,
technology was young. Okay, you know.
Also, fun fact: Armie Hammer is actually named Armand Hammer because he's from the family that founded Arm & Hammer.
Wow.
I'm just saying that's so disrespectful to your child.
Yeah, super.
That's
100%.
That's so mean.
Fucking Nike.
That's rude.
What's your son's name? My son's name is Arm & Hammer.
Yeah, that's a different level of hubris that none of us are gonna have the opportunity to experience.
Yeah.
I'm naming my kid Advanced Community. This is my child. Advanced Community.
Advanced Community. You're gonna change your last name to Studies, so it's Kevin. TV's Kevin Studies, and then your dog's
my
name.
child. My firstborn shall be Advanced Community Studies. All right. Fucking. Plugs.
You're more likely to name your first kid Pearsonold. I'm just saying.
Pearsonold.
Pearsonold Anastasia Hawthorne.
Yes.
plugs.
So for the plugs, fucking give us 5 stars on iTunes. We've been this is our longest episode.
Not even a plea, just like you fucking deserve it. Just do it.
Yeah. This is our longest episode ever, and I could have expected that. This should be our longest episode ever, but it is. So give us the 5 stars, and then I'm just gonna shout out one of my favorite LOL accounts. At Tight X Ship, but their stage name is Community Fora de Contexto, and they post the Portuguese screenshots of Community with all the subtitles. For some reason, it delights me. I can't explain it to you.
You posted recently the Brita, oi.
Yes,
from the pillows and blankets.
Yeah, pillows and where she's in like the orgy in the blanket for it. There's something about seeing like the Portuguese translation of the word complicult that just delights me for some reason. So go follow them. They're, I assume, good people. They're definitely Portuguese people.
Weird flex, but okay.
That's the weirdest.
It wasn't even that funny, but I'm in a mood, so let's
Listen, I have 5 days off immediately following this record, so I'm liable to do anything at all. So
wow, you're feeling reckless, Kevin.
Yeah, dog, I'm living on the edge.
You should have told us that when you fucking started the episode, so we knew that this was peak Kev.
This is peak.
The Kev peak. Anyway, I'm gonna do a little bit of a plug. I've plugged her before. Her name is Junior Mint. She's an amazing trans activist and drag queen. On Instagram, it's Junior Mint with 2 T's, so it's JUNIORMINTT. And she recently posted, I believe it's currently, I don't know if it'll still be, but it's currently the second post on her grid. She's doing a fundraiser for some of the people in her family having to do with like healthcare and housing and, making sure that there's still some like a good stability in that family. And her and her whole family just deserves the world. If you can donate literally anything, show up, open your purse, toss a few dollars, toss a coin to your Witcher, do what you gotta do, help out the family. She deserves it. Her family deserves it. And also, just she posts videos that are really great if you're trying to kind of be a better person. I don't know. She's great. She's so great. Give her a follow. Like all of her stuff, send her money, and then send money to this new fundraising effort for her, because she and her family absolutely deserve it. So that's my plug for today. I love all of you trans listeners. If you're even there, you are valid. Just remember that. It's a wacky time. A lot of stuff's going on. So just remember, you're valid, and if anything, I love you.
Like most of the people on this podcast, we don't have enough hubris to plug our own shit that much. So, I don't know, man. My last week has been fucking wild. So the only thing I want to plug is how fucking thankful I am that like y'all want to do this with me, and that we keep doing this through this, and that the community is cool as they are. Like I said earlier in this episode, Picture a Wave fucked me up. So yeah, I'm just super thankful that I get to live like right now and know the people that I know, because there's absolutely no chance in hell that would happen again. The odds are insurmountable that we would run into each other, and we have. And thanks to the community and to you two fucking jamooks.
I don't know what that means, but thank you.
I don't know. I think I kind of made it up, so yeah.
Jamokes, jabronis, it's all,
Yeah.
It's...
A jamook feels like a mystical creature that I enjoy. I like that. Jamook.
You're in a field. You're surrounded by 10 jamooks woken from their slumber.
What are they doing? Tell me more.
They're angry.
They're angry. What have I done?
Does anyone speak Jamook?
Does anybody have a map?
Wow.
I had to make a Broadway reference because we were talking about Broadway. I don't know if anybody else caught that, but
Dear Evan Hansen, come here, please,
got it.
please.
Caleb, do you listen to musicals, or are you actually straight?
That's funny as fuck. And yes, I listen to musicals. Not as much like Broadway musicals,
Sure.
but I will go out of my way to watch several musicals that are on my top list.
Like what?
Hell yeah.
Okay, so not the musical rendition of fucking Christmas Carol.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
a musical rendition of that with Albert Finney. It's very good. La La Land is a very good movie. to me. I don't have the experience to know if a musical movie stands up to musicals at large.
They're a different
Because I
thing.
don't
think
have a lot of...
thing.
Yeah, I don't have a lot of, like, going to see a stage musical experience. I saw Tempest once that was done as a musical, and Shakespeare at the Park. That was fucking lit.
Interesting.
It was super good. It was super good. I was like 8 or 10, and I was like, I'm gonna be a writer, because watching that was like, ooh, okay, yep, this did something for your boy.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't have any problem with musicals in their purest form, watching them on stage. I just haven't had friends nearby long enough to go see them. Kevin, I while, and then I left Starbucks, and we didn't interact enough. Actually, in complete honesty, for anybody listening, Kevin and I had met each other at Starbucks and worked together for the better part of like a year, maybe.
Yeah,
I know Kev better through this show than I got to know you working at Starbucks.
100%.
So,
I was also way too broke in those days to go see much musical theater.
Anything, yeah, sure.
It was only out of the kindness of people like Jace's partner that I got to see musicals.
Right, yeah.
And that is a whole deal. Stay tuned for the interview portion of this episode where I talk to Alexandra Bowman, political cartoonist for the Lincoln Project and the Hilltop Show. And we will be back next week with 2 episodes that are both spooky and gay.
Oh, I'm right here, Kevin. Don't talk about me like that.
Jace is spooky and gay.
That is correct.
But until then, this is our last episode that will come out before Halloween, so
Get them all out. Yes.
Da 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 do, 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 do do, da 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 do, da 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 do, do do, do 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 do, do do do. I literally opened my eyes like, oh my god, we're getting close. What the fuck? Why does it get me? Why does it get me? Also, I was distracted by the fact that you were basically singing in the voice that the Dean sings to Troy and Hobbit. You were basically doing that, and so I was like, is this on purpose? Are they doing this on purpose? And then it got close, and then one of these days, I swear to God, I don't have ADHD. I swear. A lie. That's a bold-faced lie.
we can see and hear you, right?
You know that we can see all of
this. The poster child definition of ADHD.
We've been doing this for 31 episodes.
We spent an hour in this episode trying to talk about Community and talked about 12 other shows.
All right. I'll stop putting on airs, I guess. Fuck.
We're gonna fly to school each morning. We're gonna smile the entire time.
We're gonna be more happy. We're gonna finally be fine.
We're gonna get more calm and normal. We're gonna fix our state of mind.
We're gonna be less crazy.
We're gonna finally be fine.
I was watching a 30 Rock last night, and Alec Baldwin said, "It's the Patriot Act. People forget, but it means a white person can detain anyone for any reason."
I was a little bit shocked at the extent to which they went with the Pierce's dream sequence, and I forget what the name of the episode was, but it was shortly after Remedial Chaos Theory.
I think #Annie's move when Pierce is like huffed out on paint and he's hallucinating. It's been a while since I've watched that one, but like a hula sign. There's a whole deal there.
Oh, but it gets worse. Like with the Halloween psychopath scene in the other episode, when they're like, "Yeah, name your ideal horror story," and then Pierce just doesn't do that. He just describes his ideal world with girls and him having muscles. So.
He does his own like erotic friend fiction, as to borrow parlance from Bob's Burgers. He does a little self-insert friend fiction, and more so than any horror story, that is the story that horrifies the study group the most. That's the one they cannot deal with, is the horny Pierce story. And I don't blame them, honestly.
Yeah, I'm still shocked. I mean, of course, this is like a basic premise for this podcast, but, I'm still shocked at the genius work that the writers did to apparently just encode Chevy Chase's problems in the script. Like, you'd think that as a humorist, Chevy Chase would be smart enough to realize that was going on. But okay, sure.
But apparently not. He either was oblivious to it or suffered it, but used it as like his own horrible ammunition. He put it in his quiver and was going to use that to justify just being a real piece of garbage almost the entire time.
I bet he justified it to himself. Like, he had little biases, and he was like, "Yeah, we're making this character out to be crazy," and it isn't. Yeah, something like that. Some sort of sick rationalization, I guess.
I guess most monsters do generally have some sort of sick rationalization for themselves.
Getting into English major stuff. I mean, I don't think any villain actively enjoys being evil for the sake of being evil without thinking it'll bring about some good in the world. And we can get into that.
Right. Many villains will commit evil either out of just like purely selfish reasons of monetary gain or power gain, or you do have the larger extrapolations of villains that believe they are doing what is ultimately righteous, even though they are committing heinous acts, right. Whether they believe they are committing bad to do good, or if they think it's all good and they're just wrong.
Right, exactly.
Which is also
name a villain. Yeah, we can apply that to any case.
Right, absolutely. Like, to be a dumb comic book dork, you have, like, Dr. Doom, who is a wizard and also a scientist and also a dictator of a nation, and he believes that his being a dictator is correct because someone else would do it worse. He believes that Doom dictatorship is the answer to provide for his country, for his people. And unfortunately, he is usually right. Like, his method of dictatorship is to cause actual prosperity for his people, right, because he wants to prove that he can do it better than anybody else.
Well, right, and I've been listening to Les Mis nonstop over the past couple weeks, and perfect example where stories are so much more interesting when they're you don't see that enough when the villain has like a semi-legitimate reason for doing what they're doing, but they manifest it in the worst way possible.
Right, that is the most like compelling form of villain, where they do have their own sixth sense of rationality, where you can almost understand where they're coming from, but you just have to like stop short. I cannot follow you past this line, Right.
So when your rationalizations take you too far and you forget the other side, you're so caught up in your own shtick that you forget. Oh wait, maybe I shouldn't kill Jean Valjean.
Oh, dang.
Oh my gosh, Jean Valjean forgave me. I better check
myself
off a bridge.
Yeah, exactly. I do feel so bad about not killing him that I must yeet myself off a bridge. But still, I, Javert, realize that, I have realized my quest was against a man who is trying to do right and better himself, but also my morality is such that the only recourse left to me is to hurl myself off a bridge.
Like, he went from, "I've got you, Javert, I am Javert," and then like 4 minutes later, "There's no way to go on."
Yeah. And if you fall as Lucifer fell. And then he literally falls. And you could probably make some sick comparisons to Lucifer. A fairly minor character in the Bible.
Yeah. I mean, which version is your favorite? Do you like the 1980 whatever, the 10th anniversary version that's free on YouTube for some reason, or the 2012 one?
The Tom Hooper joint?
Yes.
I will opt out of the Tom Hooper joint. I mean, my favorite version of Les Mis I've ever seen was done by a bunch of teens in Columbia, Missouri. They did a great job. It was a great show. And that was the best version of Les Mis I've ever seen. It was done by a bunch of 18-year-olds in Columbia, Missouri as part of a youth theater program. I think they did great.
I think the most effective version of The Miserables is the world we're living in right now.
Got him. Got-y. Yeah. I understand. Yeah, The Miserables. Yeah, Victor Hugo got nothing on the real life. Victor Hugo got nothing on that.
I did some. I was scrolling through the hashtag literary memes tag the other day, as one does, and I learned some things about Victor Hugo that I would, I don't know, contradict the Christian goodness themes in Les Mis just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Just slightly.
Yeah. Hashtag Christian memes. Yeah, but that's what we're looking at. This is, of course, the interview portion of Advanced Community Studies, and I dare not even broach on the conversation of Tom Hooper movie musicals, lest we never get to Community and talk about Cats for the enduring 45 minutes I have left available to me.
No, never mind. You can't see it. This is an audio production.
Right, but I saw it, and I will appreciate it.
Yeah.
So I am joined.
It's John.
Wow.
Never mind.
And now this. Hello.
Wow, well done. That talent.
Donald Trump. Yes, Donald Trump. That's my. Yeah. I get to. This show gives me an ample opportunity to use my John Oliver, which is good. It is an impression I've put the most work into, but is the least applicable to the field of comedy because he is already a comedian. You can't do a comedy version. You can't parody him. He is. It doesn't function.
Interesting perspective. You know, it's like the accent you think you can do, but actually can't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Montana, Wyoming's Flanders. It's.
You got the deep throat guttural thing. Also, I feel bad because I've been on maybe 4 podcasts ever in the past,
total
ever, and I have brought him up every time, and I'm kind of worried because what is he?
No, I just only feel bad because he is not in this episode. You know, I only got to you during the exact period of time where he is not on Community anymore. But we will give ourselves a shot there, I'm sure. But I'm finally joined by Alexandra Bowman, the host of The Hilltop Show, a political comedy web series and talk show based at Georgetown for American young people, and the political cartoonist and a video editor for The Lincoln Project, and the cartoonist of environmental news program Our Daily Planet.
Aw, thank you so much for having me on. It's an absolute pleasure. Love your tweets, love the content. I'm very excited to finally be part of the group. Club,
welcome
with other hats.
Yeah, there's a hat club. We have jackets with chicken finger patches. It's a whole thing.
Dope.
Yes. So welcome. You're finally on. I've been wanting to get you on forever, and we finally made it happen. And I was like, okay, Bowman's coming on. We gotta give him a good episode. We gotta give him Remedial Chaos Theory. We gotta set aside our time and really give them the runway. You know?
Yeah. Oh well, that's kind of you. I mean, I watched it and I would love to go. My goal is to go into TV writing, TV production after graduation. I am 20 years old. I don't like to admit it, but I am 20 years old. And I was watching this episode again, and the construction of it from a screenwriting literary perspective is fascinating and a little confusing. It's like, how is this entertaining? All they're doing is running through the 6 timelines. Each of them is weird. One of them is weirdest.
we're
I guess this
repeating
works,
so
man.
much of the same lines and the same context, like over and over and over again, and it should be maddening for that to happen so much in a 21-minute span of time.
Exactly.
But it just isn't.
Right.
And I think you could chalk that up to, some very, clever reframing every time you are paying attention to the slight differences as opposed to the repeated similarities again and again and again.
Well, and of course the Troy GIF. Looking forward to that, realizing that's coming, and then celebrating when it does.
So many people are realizing where a lot of their favorite GIFs come from.
Yeah.
Right? The Troy GIF, Ken Jeong staring at the little piece of paper.
Or I'll allow it, which I used twice yesterday.
I'll allow it. Excellent one. Shirley saying the Lord is testing me. People are finding out the origin of some of their favorite all-time GIFs, and I think that's beautiful to
GIF
finally
for GIF.
know.
Is that already a tried and true trope to talk about on a podcast or not? I'm just curious.
And we have run it through on this show. I say GIF mostly just because I think it sounds nicer. I like the soft G, and people are like, that's not how the G would sound in that scenario. I'm like, you ever heard of a giraffe? You ever heard Geronimo? What do G's can do? It's the English language. It's chaos.
Gorge. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Allow me to introduce you to my friend Gorge. You, of course, go to Gorgetown. It's preposterous. But welcome to the show. So I will ask you the question that must be answered by all guests. What is your community journey? When did you come to the show? How often have you watched the show? I'm just curious.
Sure thing. Well, honestly, it became close to my heart in the perfect way possible. So I was an Oliver enthusiast for some time, and then I kept seeing screenshots. Oh, what? He's in a sitcom? So that happened, and I got into it right at the start of when I started college. So it was perfect. To watch these characters adjusting to the college experience, a new environment, etc., while I was doing the same thing. It was just perfect and beautiful. So honestly, I found myself gravitating to music playlists that I used to listen to while walking around campus, which is probably a sick masochist thing to do. Listening to the community theme song hits you right in the feels these days. So it's fun to rewatch and think, it's almost another way of dealing with the new college environment we're now in, because I am a junior. We're getting used to the virtual landscape for classes, and it's kind of using that as another device to adjust to this crazy new world.
Finding those senses of normalcy, of life as it used to be and will be again. We there will be an other side to the coronavirus, but finding those little pieces of what used to be that you can hang on to and help yourself feel some sense of normalcy.
Mm-hmm. Well, normalcy or just nostalgia. Because lately it just feels like a vain attempt at reliving the old days, which feels dumb. I have it really good, but it was you get a sweet, nice new taste of freedom, and then to have it taken away a year and a half later, it sucks, man. It sucks.
Right. Yeah. This is impacting your very important college experience. All the parties are canceled. And you don't.
I was one of those sick losers who lived on the alcohol-free floor, So I that's one thing that I don't have to experience losing.
No, that's okay. I was so rarely at any college parties. I went to a small college where there were no on-campus parties, and I was invited to few, if any, off-campus parties. So we're all good here.
And speaking of that, I don't want to out my friend. I won't name the friend, but there are some people who are allowed to live on campus right now for various reasons. And a friend of mine saw people partying next door, maybe 5 or 10 people, no social distancing, no masks, standard freshman party fare. And she owns a plague doctor costume. And she went in, she knocked on the door in the plague doctor costume. And they said, "Who are you?" And she said, "Death."
The doctor's in. Wow, I think that is one of the most incredible things I've heard in a long time.
And the friend refuses to tweet it, I think. I think I asked her to tweet it, and she said, nah, it's private.
Oh,
it is no longer private, friend.
Think of all the clout. Yeah, thousands of people. The world will hear this.
The story must be told.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, that's beautiful. As someone that draws a comic strip about a cartoon plague doctor, I am for plague doctors in this current time. Let's bring back the look. I think we would have a lot fewer coronavirus deniers if, when you contracted the coronavirus, you had to deal with a scary bird person.
Did you mean last week tonight? Never mind. Sorry. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. I mean, I enjoy me some Last Week Tonight. I will confess I haven't seen every episode, but I enjoy me some Last Week Tonight.
Can I make a massive confession? I have not watched the last 5 episodes because I don't like the sad. I don't like seeing him sad. I can't make myself do it. I'll pull it up on YouTube or HBO Max, and I'll think I could do this. But I also just like the vision that he's not depressed right now. So I have
just not horribly, and he fights through it pretty well. He makes a good show of it pretty well, but it's just simply unavoidable at this point. It really, if you are, I don't know if I wouldn't necessarily call him a news program, but certainly a comedy journalism program.
I've wondered that for a while, and someone told me, recently I was working with the Society of Professional Journalists, and they were like, yeah, editorial cartooning is definitely a form of journalism, and I didn't know how that could be possible, because when you think journalism, you normally think, Bob Woodward, facts only, or All the President's Men, strict note-taking, no editorializing.
A hat that says press, spotlight, yeah.
Exactly, very, every word has meaning, no editorialization whatsoever. And I guess I was wrong, because I was talking to this dude for this job I was doing who works for C-SPAN. He's a C-SPAN panelist. And he said that there are 3 main categories of journalism. I believe it's columnists, reporters, and commentators. So John claims to not be a journalist, but according to this C-SPAN guy's definition, which seems to be the real definition trademark, he absolutely is a journalist. He's just a commentator. So sorry, John, checkmate.
Sorry, you've been duped. I would understand John not wanting to be called a journalist,
for sure, because most people don't understand that definition.
Right. I mean, not even just because of the anti-journalist rhetoric that is being spouted on the national stage every day, but I think he was under Jon Stewart for many years, and Jon Stewart or Stephen Colbert would always say, we are not the news. Great that you watch us, great that you like what we do. You cannot get all of your information from a 30-minute comedy program.
And there's a line, Obama was on the Colbert Report in its final year, and there was a bit where he said, in so many words, young people don't watch the news anymore, they watch comedy shows. So that places 2 onuses on various groups. My sleep-deprived, sad debate brain is not helping me here. First of all, young people need to watch the news, and second, the comedy groups need to be responsible, understanding what their audiences are coming to them for. So you really do have to, unfortunately, share both sides in jokes and comments. So it's not really helpful when brevity is key to that kind of a quote unquote art form.
It's only a slight step up from getting all your news from a Conan O'Brien monologue. It's you would know everything about what the Kardashians are up to. But you would have very little substantive information, and I think that to my knowledge, Last Week Tonight, The Daily Show and all of its incarnations, the Colbert Report were they were comedy, but they didn't tell any outright lies unless it was a big, very obvious joke. But still, you need to do a more thorough reading, either from actual news and journalistic sources, or certainly read some books about some stuff sometime.
Well, right, and I mean, and as I keep saying, I only mentally and politically woke up 2 years ago, and so I've been talking to people older than me who've been around in this world, and apparently political comedy as a genre like it is now didn't really exist. Like Colbert Report, Daily Show, Last Week, nothing like that really existed in almost any form, media-wise, before Jon Stewart. And I've been trying to figure out what led to that rising of that genre. Was it what consumers wanted, or was it out of necessity because that was what the political world required? I mean, it's a massive popular genre. Why did it take so long? Or why does it need to exist in the first place?
There, like most things, I think it's a confluence of elements, right? Because there's a pretty direct line from Jon Stewart back to Weekend Update on Saturday Night Live, right? As which started in '75. And that segment has been a permanent mainstay of the show for its entire duration. So there's a pretty direct line there. And that's a very simple comedy premise. What if the news, but they told jokes instead?
Right.
Like that makes a perfect direct line. But there is also, like from The Daily Show, from the Colbert Report, there is another direct line that meets some other lines, but also leads to Steven Crowder or Alex Jones, like people I do not care for.
Right.
But there is an equal, those guys also have a lot of like talk radio in their
well, to be honest, like even I think the only real newscaster that I can think of immediately who doesn't at least imbue their reporting or commentary, they're two different things according to the C-SPAN guy, imbue the things they say on screen with some level of humor occasionally is like Wolf Blitzer, who has miraculously been able to maintain this air of complete objectivity, what appears to be complete objectivity. It's crazy, like no expressions. Not sure if that's good, but he's, I guess, the Dan Rather or what have you of our Walter Cronkite of our age. Right. Anderson Cooper. He's
the guy who's keeping it straight faced. Yeah. Yeah,
exactly. Like at least Anderson Cooper, that one time with Jeffrey Lord was like, if Trump took a dump on his desk, you would defend him. Which is at some point, I understand you have to break. It's so ridiculous. You can't maintain silence anymore, I guess. I mean, it's
absolutely. Yeah, there's this and it's a idea that goes any number of directions, right? Like almost everything is this weird double-edged sword where to not offer commentary on certainly some of these things feels morally incorrect. Like it does feel no, I as Anderson Cooper or whoever must offer a certain amount of commentary on something that seems truly unjust. And that's always been a part of the newscaster thing to a certain extent, where something bad will happen, some storm, some murder, something, and they'll be like, and that's a terrible tragedy, which is, that's a form of commentary. Yes. Like, the thoughts and wishes of NBC Nightly News are with the victims, and that is itself a form of commentary. It's just not the same form of commentary that a Tucker Carlson would use.
Right, and you have to think about the kind of distinction between facts and truth, and how facts is Trump told a lie. Actually, I don't know. I went to the week the pandemic happened, 4 days before. Actually, no. It was the week that New York City was declared under a state of emergency. I bussed myself up to New York City and watched 4 late-night shows in a row because I was one of the maybe 100 people stupid enough to put my life on the line for this, right? And so one of the shows that I got off the wait list for was the Late Night with Seth Meyers. And I got asked him, what do you think is the difference between political comedy and journalism? And Seth Meyers says that he thinks that in his line of work, he's allowed to deliver more truth. And of course, that's a scary thing if given in the wrong hands, right? But he thinks, Wolf Blitzer has to say Trump told a factual untruth, but Seth Meyers can get through to the viewer in their hearts and souls and say, your president is a pathological liar, So I would argue in terms of getting to people, slapping them around the head and saying, look at what is going on right now. I think that political comics kind of do that more effectively just inherently by nature of the work that they do. And I don't really blame Anderson Cooper or Chris Cuomo or these kind of sassy reporters for doing this, because I think there's a responsibility. I mean, at some point you can't stay silent and just call it an untruth. You have to look at what we're in. Look where we are because of lack of calling it out. Like, I don't believe in, let's keep politics out of this discussion. It's not politics to say that our president is what he is.
Right. And I think we've started really using the word politics as far too large an umbrella, right? And eventually, I'm sure this will circle back around to community. But
I have the same hive mind theory confirmed.
This is what I want. Like, this is fine. The organic discussion is what I'm more interested in, rather than specifically discussing community.
I'm sorry, you even had an episode planned out that we were going to talk about. Okay, well, this is the darkest timeline. There, I tied it together.
Yeah, perfect. We've started using politics as too large an umbrella, where it's like, don't get mad at your family over politics. Like,
it's not politics. It's the fate of society.
Exactly. When the word politics suddenly encompasses everyone's social and civil rights, the death of thousands of people. Like, okay, here's what politics is. Like, how are we going to pay for roads? What specific bill is going to affect public school funding? Mm-hmm. That's politics.
Correct.
I think we can truly stop drawing the politics line at, like, again, like social and civil rights being taken away, border camps, all of these different, being made a mockery of on the national stage. Like, we stop being politics at a certain point. And we need to stop using that word to mean anything politicians have an opinion on.
Yeah.
Because, like, climate change is not politics.
No.
That is not what that word should encompass.
No.
Because, like, if you are actively if you, theoretical old person straw man I'm speaking to, vote for someone who actively puts in danger, like, the future of our planet, of myself, who will outlive you, straw man, my friends' children who will outlive you, straw man. If you are doing that, then I think I have every right to be mad at you. I don't care about, like, pork barrel legislation in the same way. But, like, we've started using politics to mean literally everything.
Well, it's almost like the system hopes that both sides have a concept of truth and what is right. And the whole point of the idea of politics is that it's a debate over the best way to achieve X goal. And it feels like just the aims, right, of a better society, the definition of what a better society is such a divisive thing now, that I think that might be where we've gone astray. But that said, I'm in 2 philosophy, governmental theory 101 courses, so I might not know anything, but we'll see what happens.
Right.
I'll get back to you after my paper at 6:30 p.m. today is turned in, and I'll see if I have any new wisdom for you.
And we'll circle back around to that, I'm sure. But yes, so this episode of Community, is this on your community hierarchy? Is this a high-ranking episode for you?
One of the reasons the show is so awesome is the meta thing that it does so well. And this nails that. I mean, what I was saying earlier about how it's still entertaining, not sure if that will make the final cut, but earlier I said that despite the weird layout of this in a literary sense, in a screenwriting, storytelling sense, like, it's still entertaining. I don't think it was entertaining enough to be put in my personal top 5, but definitely an interesting premise that was interesting to carry out. I got a little bit tired of the Pierce joke about Eartha Kitt. I'm like, the shock value once, okay, but 10 times or 6 times, it's a little old, but yeah.
Right.
No,
they give everyone their kind of repeated method, so, like, Shirley's Pies, Britta smokes weed, they have all these different points that the troll in the box, there are all these different elements that pay out in different ways over and over again.
Right.
But okay, so if you do you dare try and build, like, a Mount Rushmore of Community episodes for you? Like, what are your big ones?
I just think this might be a cop out of the question, but I think just the whole of seasons 1 and 2 are just the perfect little crystal ball of near perfection for a smart comedy sitcom. Just the level of creative divergence that you see there, the level of questioning every idea that's thrown across that writer's room table. It's just beautiful to watch. Like, clearly these writers were having fun with both messing with the ideas they had themselves and messing with Chevy Chase's clearly crazy ideas too.
All right, it is slightly a cop out, but I will allow it in this case.
I'll allow it.
You've gotten permission for this particular cop out.
Thank you. I mean,
so I do.
If I need to get specific, I think the paintball episode obviously is top.
Oh, sure.
Top. Yeah, when people were saying, "Oh, community, where should I start?" I'm like, first watch the pilot, right? Obviously, booyah, and then watch paintball, and that's my episodes. So
right. So it's like, here's a basic character introduction, then here's the show you have to look forward to, and then go back and, like, fill in the gaps between the two.
Exactly. One episode crystallizes everything. Like, I would argue that for Doctor Who, that's the Stolen Earth, just Daleks, world apocalypticism, plus David Tennant, all the best elements in one episode. I would say that's the paintball episode.
For sure, I could definitely get behind that. To a controversial opinion, the community paintball episodes are good.
Hot take
really
city,
yeah. I'm not afraid to tell it like it is. I'm not afraid to put myself out on the line.
Well, Pascal's Triangle. I mean, what's the name of the episode with the Duncan principle? I mean, I love that.
Oh, social psychology?
Yeah. The Duncan principle one.
The Duncan. Why don't you go kill John Lennon again?
You loser.
Loser.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so there. I think I listed 5. In a throwing balls at a wall sort of way. I hope at 5.
I think you made it work.
Yeah.
I don't expect everyone to just have their, like, yes, I'm glad you asked that question, and pull out, like, a preordained list.
The paintball and any episode where Duncan shines particularly. But here's a hot take, and I need to watch it again to, hone the take. But I remember being disappointed with Abed's Uncontrollable Christmas. Because, I'm coming from, like, a Protestant perspective, I guess. But I remember that their take on the meaning of Christmas was disappointing. Like, the idea is just, like, be good and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, I disagree with that from a liturgical or a religious perspective. But also, I think you could have gone deeper even if you were going to be secular with it.
Right, yes. The idea of Christmas is that Christmas has meaning. That's, like, the thesis that they get to.
Yeah.
Like, Christmas as a date on that is not the date that Jesus was born. Jesus was likely born in the summer, and it was, like, a pagan holiday that was, taken and refurbished. And that's where the trees come from. Like, there's no trees in the story of Jesus's birth or anything, or Santa. Like, that has nothing to do with Jesus.
Right, exactly.
But
honestly,
it's like whether or not
some guy dropping, coins in people's girls' boots outside their houses is weird stuff.
Yeah. Not aboard Sinterklaas. I really gotta make it known. I am less on board with that guy. Or in the Swedish tradition where he's, like, followed on all sides by, like, people in blackface. Like, I'm not on board with all of the different versions of Santa Claus.
Right. Well, there's another thing. It's like, as a recent graduate of Animation 1, let me tell you, like, I feel bad for any stop motion animator who creates a piece. Thank you. Sorry. I live at home. All right, I get to start that over. Oh, it's so awesome. Thank you, Mom, for the eraser. I feel bad for any stop-motion animator who devotes that much time and effort into a script that isn't good or isn't fully realized, or where the thesis of the piece isn't worth telling. Like, I pity that person. I really feel bad because
I'll watch an animated movie and I'm like, I didn't like that very much, but then I'm boggled by the amount of work that the animators put into every frame of the piece, and I understand you. I kind of like their message is that whether or not you're like Christian or you use it as an excuse to just like hang out with friends or hang out with family or show people you love them, that the meaning of Christmas is whatever you imbue unto Christmas. And I sort of like that, but I understand why.
Yeah, well, I mean, you can go that route. It's like it's a time to put aside everything and love one another and put aside quote unquote political differences. I get that. I mean, that's a acceptable point to put into a piece that has to be secular, I guess. But at least do that. Don't just say the meaning of Christmas is that it has meaning. Like, good Lord.
I get you. I understand.
Yeah.
Well, segueing to the wrap up. Sorry that we're wrapping up on your negativity, but
no.
Where can the people find you and your work and anything you want people to know or think about here in late October 2020?
Oh gosh. Well, yeah. No, I think I alluded earlier to the idea that I am sad post-debate. Well, this was recorded the day after, if I'm allowed to share that privileged information. This was recorded the day after the first presidential debate. And I'm just tired, man. I'm tired. This is not normal post-it thing. That attitude where you need to be involved and fully emotionally invested in the death of your country. It's exhausting. And especially for someone who's has this inkling in the back of her head. It's like, what is this? What the world is? Is it always going to be this way? I'm tired. I hope that it improves. It might not. I hope it improves. But on that note, for more of that nihilism, check out the Hilltop Show on YouTube, which is essentially, we're trying to make it a version of SNL Last Week Tonight Daily Show for young people in the United States. And our executive producer is from the UK, so we'll cover UK news too. But it feels weird to say the United States and the UK, or like without Europe. I don't know. But for the United States specifically is what we're going for. And we're evolving. Like, I'll admit it, we're still growing. We're still learning. We're trying to use this to learn how the thing works. But we have about 50 people, students from all over the United States. It started at Georgetown. It started as like a college club, and then we thought, well, first of all, actually, we struggled to recruit people at Georgetown. So I started saying, hey, friend who goes to a school in Maryland, how about you come? Hey, I'll have a friend who goes to RPI in New York, come and join the party. And then we just started like, well, okay. And it was a reminder that the Georgetown, student government drama is relevant to maybe 2,000 people in the entire world. And it's not really worth our time to spend years of our lives, or 48 hours of our lives writing a piece and then 30 minutes of the viewer's time to angst about that. So we're really trying to cover things from the perspective of young people, because that's a niche that isn't occupied, to talk about problems relevant to young people in a way that young people will understand, and also in a way that those who aren't young people can understand, so that broader change can be made, bringing in those diverse perspectives to the table, which shouldn't be it sounds like just a talking point, but it's not. Like, we really do care deeply about all this.
Absolutely. I love that, and y'all are doing great work over there. Of course. And it was great, finally, like, hopping on the mic with you and talking to you. And I don't know, let's do it again sometime.
I would love to. Yes, please. Yeah, we could do it after the second presidential debate.
Just keep reporting back.
Because
just keep circling back
grossly over caffeinated, just yelling at each other. I can't take this. I gotta have another cup.
This has been a Talkback Podcast.
That was quite a show.